Once upon a time, in a lush, green forest filled with the soft melodies of birds and the whisper of the wind, there lived a young girl named Elara. She had bright, curious eyes and a heart full of wonder. Elara lived in a cozy cottage with her grandmother, who often told her stories of magic and adventure. One sunny afternoon, while exploring the edge of the forest, Elara stumbled upon a hidden path she had never noticed before. The path was lined with sparkling pebbles that seemed to glow with a gentle light. Intrigued, Elara decided to follow it. The path wound through the trees, leading her to a magnificent, ancient oak tree with a door carved into its trunk. With a mix of excitement and trepidation, Elara opened the door and stepped inside. To her amazement, she found herself in a magical world where the trees were adorned with shimmering leaves and flowers danced in the air. A gentle, glowing fairy named Leora greeted her. "Welcome, Elara," Leora said with a warm smile. "I've been waiting for someone brave and kind-hearted to help us." Elara was puzzled. "Help with what?" Leora's expression grew serious. "Our beloved forest queen has been trapped in a spell by a mischievous sorcerer. Without her, our world is slowly losing its magic. We need someone with a pure heart to break the spell." Elara, feeling a surge of courage, agreed to help. Leora led her to a crystal-clear lake where a small boat awaited them. As they sailed across the lake, Leora explained that the sorcerer had hidden the key to the spell in a place where only someone truly kind could find it. The boat soon reached a small island covered in golden flowers. In the center of the island stood a grand pedestal with a shimmering key on top. But guarding the key was a grumpy, old troll named Grendel. Grendel grumbled, "To get the key, you must first make me smile. Only then will I give it to you." Elara thought for a moment and then began to tell Grendel a story about a clumsy dragon who accidentally helped a village by knocking over a giant boulder that had been blocking their water supply. The dragon's unintended heroism made Grendel chuckle, and soon he was laughing heartily. With a beaming smile, Grendel handed over the key. Elara and Leora returned to the enchanted oak tree and used the key to unlock a hidden chamber. Inside, the forest queen was trapped in a magical crystal. Elara took a deep breath and, with a pure heart, recited a special incantation Leora had taught her. The crystal shattered into a million sparkles, and the forest queen was freed. "Thank you, Elara," the forest queen said, her voice like a gentle breeze. "You have restored our magic and saved our world." As a token of gratitude, the forest queen granted Elara a special gift, a small, enchanted pendant that would allow her to visit the magical world anytime she wished. Elara hugged Leora and the forest queen goodbye and made her way back to her cottage. When she arrived home, she found her grandmother waiting with a knowing smile. Elara shared her adventure, and her grandmother listened with wonder. That night, as Elara drifted off to sleep, she clasped the pendant around her neck and smiled, knowing that the magical world was always just a heartbeat away. And so, Elara continued to live her days with a heart full of adventure and kindness, knowing that the magic of the forest would forever be a part of her. Once upon a time, in a kingdom surrounded by rolling hills and lush meadows, there was a village called Rivendell. The villagers were kind and hardworking, and they had one beloved tradition. Every year, they would celebrate the Festival of Lights, which illuminated the entire village with glowing lanterns. However, one year, a mysterious fog descended upon the village, making it impossible for the villagers to light their lanterns. In this village lived a young girl named Leora. She was known for her bright spirit and unyielding curiosity. She loved the Festival of Lights more than anything and was determined to find a way to save it. The village elders, though concerned, had given up hope, believing that the fog would never lift. One day, as Leora wandered through the forest near Rivendell, she stumbled upon an old, forgotten path. Driven by her desire to help, she followed the path deep into the forest. After hours of walking, she found herself in front of a grand, ancient oak tree. The tree had a door carved into its trunk, which seemed to glow faintly. With a deep breath, Leora opened the door and stepped inside. The inside of the tree was a magical chamber, filled with glowing mushrooms and crystal-clear streams. In the center of the chamber was a wise old elf named Thorn, who had been guarding a special lantern for centuries. Thorn welcomed Leora and explained that the lantern was no ordinary one. It was the Lantern of Leora, named after a brave ancestor of hers who had once saved the kingdom from darkness. The lantern had the power to lift any magical fog, but it needed to be activated by someone with a pure heart and great courage. Thorn told Leora that the lantern could only be used once every 100 years and that its power had been sealed by a dark enchantment to prevent it from being used recklessly. To unlock the lantern's magic, Leora needed to complete 3 tasks, each representing a virtue: kindness, bravery, and wisdom. Task 1. Kindness. The first task led Leora to the River of Echoes, where a family of swans had been trapped by tangled reeds. The swans were desperate to be freed, but the reeds were too thick for them to navigate. Leora used her hands and tools to carefully untangle the reeds, freeing the swans. In gratitude, the swans gave her a feather each, which she was to keep as a symbol of kindness. Task 2. Bravery. For the second task, Leora ventured into the Whispering Caverns, where an enormous dragon had been guarding a precious gemstone. The dragon, though fierce, was actually under a spell that made it act out of anger and fear. Leora approached the dragon with a gentle heart, speaking to it with kind words and soothing gestures. She discovered that the dragon's spell was a result of a broken heart, and by offering it one of the swan feathers as a token of friendship, she broke the enchantment. The dragon was restored to its gentle self and gave Leora the gemstone as a reward for her bravery. Task 3. Wisdom. The final task took Leora to the enchanted library, where she needed to solve a riddle written on an ancient scroll. The riddle was a puzzle about the nature of light and darkness, and it required a deep understanding of the balance between them. After contemplating and reflecting on the riddle's meaning, Leora realized that true wisdom was knowing that light and darkness are part of a greater whole. She answered the riddle correctly, unlocking the scroll's magic and receiving a glowing crystal as a symbol of wisdom. With all 3 symbols of virtue, swan feathers, the gemstone, and the glowing crystal, Leora returned to the ancient oak tree. Thorn welcomed her back and was impressed by her achievements. Leora placed the symbols around the lantern of Leora, and the lantern's magic began to shine brightly. The lantern cast a brilliant light that cut through the fog surrounding Rivendell. As the light from the lantern reached the village, the fog lifted, and the villagers were amazed to see the Festival of Lights restored. The lantern's glow brought warmth and joy to the village, and the festival was more magnificent than ever before. The villagers celebrated Leora's bravery and kindness, and she became a hero in Rivendell. The lantern was returned to its place in the ancient oak tree, ready to be used again in another 100 years. Leora's story was told for generations, and her name became a symbol of courage and compassion. And so, the Festival of Lights continued to shine brightly in Rivendell, a testament to the power of kindness, bravery, and wisdom. Once upon a time, in a serene village nestled between misty mountains and a sparkling lake, lived a kind and curious girl named Clara. Clara loved stargazing and often spent her nights on the hill behind her house, watching the stars twinkle in the vast night sky. She had a special bond with the stars, believing they held secrets and dreams. One crisp autumn evening, as Clara gazed up at the sky, she noticed something unusual. A single star seemed to shine brighter than the rest, casting a shimmering trail of light. The star appeared to be guiding her. Intrigued, Clara followed the star's path through the forest and over the hills until she reached an ancient oak tree in the heart of the forest. The tree was magnificent, its branches sprawling out like welcoming arms. At its base, Clara found a small, hidden door. The door was adorned with intricate carvings of stars and moons. Clara, her heart pounding with excitement, gently pushed the door open and stepped inside. She found herself in a magical glade, bathed in the soft glow of moonlight. In the center of the glade was a large, shimmering pool, its surface reflecting the stars above. Floating above the pool was a delicate, silver pendant with a star-shaped gem in its center. As Clara approached the pendant, a figure emerged from the shadows, a wise old woman with a cloak that shimmered like the night sky. "Welcome, Clara," the woman said with a gentle voice. "I am Celestia, the guardian of the starry pendant. You have been chosen to embark on a special quest. Clara's eyes widened in wonder. What is this quest? Celestia explained that the starry pendant had the power to grant a single wish, but it had been stolen from the sky by a mischievous sprite named Lumine. Without the pendant, the balance of the stars was disturbed, and their light was fading. To restore the stars' light, Celestia continued, you must retrieve the pendant from Lumine's lair in the Twilight Caves. Only someone with a pure heart and unwavering bravery can succeed. Determined to help, Clara accepted the quest. Celestia handed her a small, silver lantern. This lantern will light your way and reveal the path to the Twilight Caves. With the lantern in hand, Clara ventured into the forest once more. The path to the Twilight Caves was filled with challenges, narrow, winding trails, and dark, shadowy corners. But Clara's lantern glowed brightly, guiding her through the darkness. Finally, she arrived at the entrance to the Twilight Caves. The caves were a labyrinth of twisting tunnels and glimmering crystals. As Clara made her way through the maze, she heard soft, tinkling laughter. At the heart of the cave, she found Lumine, a tiny sprite with sparkling wings, holding the starry pendant. Why did you take the pendant? Clara asked, her voice echoing through the cave. Lumine looked up, his eyes filled with mischief and regret. I took it because I wanted to create my own constellation, but I didn't realize the harm it would cause. The stars are losing their light. And the sky is growing dim. Clara's heart softened. It's not too late to make things right. Please return the pendant, and we can restore the stars together. Lumine looked at Clara, her kindness touching him deeply. With a sigh, he handed her the starry pendant. You're right. I didn't think of the consequences. I'll return it. As Clara took the pendant, its light grew even brighter, and the cave began to shimmer with renewed brilliance. Clara thanked Lumine and made her way back to the glade, the pendant glowing warmly in her hand. Celestia awaited her arrival with a hopeful smile. Clara placed the pendant in the center of the glade, and its light spread across the sky like a wave of stardust. The stars began to twinkle brightly once more, restoring their luminous beauty. Celestia smiled and said, "You have succeeded, Clara. The stars are shining brightly again, thanks to your bravery and compassion. The starry pendant has fulfilled its purpose, and your wish has been granted." Clara returned to her village. Her heart filled with joy. She continued to stargaze, but now with a deeper understanding of the magic and balance of the universe. The tale of her quest and the restored light of the stars became a cherished legend in her village. And every night, as Clara gazed up at the twinkling stars, she knew that she had helped bring their light back to the sky, and that magic and kindness were the true keys to the universe's wonders. The end. Once upon a time, in a bustling village nestled at the edge of a magical forest, there was an old, quaint shop known for its wondrous collection of antiques. The shop was run by an elderly man named Tobias, who was known far and wide for his knowledge of magical artifacts. One day, as he was dusting off the shelves, he discovered a hidden compartment in a wooden cabinet. Inside was a small, intricately carved music box that had been forgotten over the years. The music box was adorned with delicate patterns of stars and moons, and its surface shimmered with an otherworldly light. Intrigued, Tobias decided to play the music box. As he wound the key and opened the lid, a beautiful, haunting melody began to play. The notes seemed to dance in the air, and Tobias felt a sense of calm and wonder. Unbeknownst to Tobias, the music box had a special enchantment. It was said that the music box held the power to reveal hidden truths and grant a single wish to the one who truly believed in its magic. The enchantment had been waiting for someone with a pure heart to unlock its secrets. One day, a young girl named Ilara came into the shop. Ilara was known for her kindness and her love of music. When she saw the music box, her eyes lit up with curiosity and delight. Tobias noticed her fascination and told her about the music box's magical reputation. Ilara decided to take the music box home, hoping to uncover its secrets. That evening, as the moonlight streamed through her window, she played the music box's melody. As the notes filled the room, Elara felt a sense of warmth and peace. She closed her eyes and made a heartfelt wish. I wish to bring joy and harmony to my village. As Elara made her wish, the music box began to glow softly. Suddenly, a gentle breeze carried the melody outside, and the magic of the music box began to weave through the village. The melody touched the hearts of the villagers, filling them with a sense of unity and happiness. The once bustling and busy village began to transform into a place of joy and harmony. The next morning, the villagers awoke to find that their everyday troubles seemed lighter, and their interactions were filled with kindness and understanding. The village square, once a place of hustle and bustle, now resonated with laughter and music. The fields and gardens flourished, and a sense of tranquility settled over the village. Elara noticed that the changes in the village were profound and magical. She returned to the shop to thank Tobias and to learn more about the music box. Tobias explained that the music box's enchantment was linked to the genuine wishes of those who believed in its magic. The box had responded to Elara's pure-hearted wish and had brought about the transformation the village needed. Elara continued to use the music box's melody to bring joy to the village, and the magical harmony it created became a cherished part of their lives. The villagers celebrated the music box's magic and the kindness of Elara, who had brought a new sense of unity and happiness to their community. As the years passed, the music box remained a treasured artifact in the village. It was a symbol of the power of kindness and the magic that could be found in even the smallest of wishes. Elara's story was told to generations, reminding them that the true magic of the music box lay in the pure-hearted wishes and the joy they could bring to the world. And so, the village thrived under the enchanting melody of the music box, and its magic continued to inspire hope and harmony for many years to come. The end. Once upon a time, in a serene valley surrounded by misty mountains, there was a hidden village called Leora. The village was renowned for its breathtaking beauty and its mystical moonlit grove, where the moonlight seemed to dance upon the trees and flowers. It was said that once every century, under the light of the full moon, a magical melody would echo through the grove, bestowing great gifts upon those who could find its source. In this village lived a kind-hearted young girl named Aisling, who loved playing her silver flute. Aisling's music was known throughout the village for its soothing and uplifting qualities. She had heard the tales of the moonlit melody from her grandmother and dreamt of discovering its magic. One clear, starry night, as the full moon began to rise, Aisling decided to venture into the moonlit grove, determined to find the source of the legendary melody. With her flute in hand and a heart full of hope, she stepped into the grove, the soft glow of the moon guiding her path. As Aisling walked, she noticed that the grove seemed alive with gentle, ethereal lights. The trees sparkled with a silvery sheen, and the flowers glowed softly in the moonlight. The air was filled with a delicate, enchanting fragrance. Aisling followed the path of moonlight, hoping to find the source of the melody. Her first challenge was to solve a riddle posed by a wise old owl perched on a moonlit branch. The owl spoke in a voice like a gentle breeze. To proceed, you must answer this. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I? Aisling thought for a moment and then answered, a joke. The owl's eyes twinkled, and it flapped its wings, revealing a hidden pathway illuminated by moonlight. Following the new path, Aisling arrived at a serene pond where the water was as clear as glass and reflected the moon in its entirety. At the edge of the pond was a shimmering lily pad, and upon it rested a silver key. The second challenge was to cross the pond. Aisling noticed that the lily pad was the only solid object in the water. To reach it, she had to find a way to cross without falling in. As she pondered her options, she noticed that the melody she played on her flute seemed to create ripples on the water. She played a soft, calming tune, and the ripples formed stepping stones across the pond. Carefully, she crossed and retrieved the silver key. The key led Aisling to a grand, ancient tree at the center of the grove. The tree's bark was etched with celestial symbols, and its branches seemed to reach out to the sky. At the base of the tree was a hidden door with a keyhole that matched the silver key. With a deep breath, Aisling inserted the key into the lock and turned it. The door creaked open, revealing a hidden chamber bathed in a gentle, golden light. In the center of the chamber was a beautiful harp, its strings shimmering with a magical light. As Aisling approached the harp, she felt a deep connection to the instrument. She began to play, her fingers dancing across the strings. The music that flowed from the harp was the moonlit melody, a harmonious blend of enchanting notes that seemed to resonate with the very essence of the grove. The melody filled the chamber and spread throughout the grove, touching every corner of the forest. The trees swayed in rhythm, and the flowers bloomed in vibrant colors. The magic of the melody brought a sense of peace and joy to the entire grove. As the last notes of the melody faded, a gentle voice echoed through the chamber. "You have discovered the moonlit melody and unlocked its magic. You are blessed with a gift of understanding and compassion, which you shall use to spread kindness and harmony throughout the world." With a heart full of gratitude, Aisling returned to the village, her flute and the memory of the moonlit melody forever etched in her heart. The village of Leora celebrated her bravery and the magical gift she had brought. Under the light of the full moon, they gathered to enjoy the magical harmony that continued to linger in the grove. Aisling's music became even more enchanting, carrying the magic of the moonlit melody wherever she went. Her kindness and compassion touched the lives of many. And the legend of the moonlit melody became a cherished story in Leora, told from generation to generation. And so, under the watchful gaze of the moon and the magical glow of the grove, Leora thrived, its nights forever blessed with the gentle, harmonious light of the moonlit melody. Once upon a time, in a realm where the sky was always a deep, serene blue and the rolling hills were dotted with wildflowers, there was a charming village called Everbrook. The village was nestled beside a great, ancient forest known as the Whispering Woods, a place where the trees were said to hold secrets and enchantments. In Everbrook, there lived a young girl named Mira. Mira had a gift that set her apart from others: she could speak to the forest animals. This gift was passed down through generations in her family, and Mira cherished it deeply, using it to help her neighbors and protect the forest. One day, as Mira strolled through the forest, she noticed something unusual. A large, dark cloud hovered over a section of the Whispering Woods. This was strange, as the sky was clear and blue everywhere else. Mira approached the area, her curiosity piqued. As she ventured deeper, Mira found a small, hidden glade where the trees were wilting and the flowers drooping. In the center of the glade stood a magnificent, ancient tree, its bark etched with glowing runes. The tree, known as the Elder Tree, was the heart of the Whispering Woods and the source of its magic. "Oh no," Mira murmured, "the Elder Tree is in trouble." Suddenly, a soft, melancholic voice echoed through the glade. It was the Elder Tree, speaking to Mira. "Brave Mira, the balance of the Whispering Woods is in jeopardy. A dark sorcerer named Meliner has stolen the heart of the forest, a crystal that sustains our magic. Without it, the woods will wither and fade." Mira's heart sank. "How can I help?" The Elder Tree's runes flickered as it continued. "The heart of the forest is hidden in the Tower of Shadows, located at the farthest edge of the woods. To reach it, you must first pass through 3 trials that test your courage, wisdom, and kindness." Determined, Mira set off towards the Tower of Shadows. The forest seemed darker as she approached, the air thick with tension. The first trial was a labyrinth of thorny brambles that twisted and turned in confusing patterns. Mira used her gift to call upon the forest creatures for help. A wise old owl guided her with its hoots, and a brave squirrel led her through the safest path. With their assistance, Mira navigated the labyrinth and emerged on the other side. The second trial was a raging river with waters that surged and crashed violently. Mira needed to cross, but the only bridge was a flimsy vine that swayed dangerously. As she stood at the edge, she heard the soft chirps of a family of river birds. They offered to help, and with their guidance, Mira used fallen branches and sturdy vines to create a more stable crossing. She carefully made her way across, reaching the far shore safely. The final trial awaited Mira at the Tower of Shadows, a looming structure covered in dark ivy and surrounded by swirling mist. As Mira entered, the darkness seemed to press in on her. She was met by Meliner, the dark sorcerer, who sneered at her arrival. "You think you can take the heart of the forest from me?" Melinar's voice echoed with malice. "You are just a child." Mira took a deep breath and stepped forward. "I am not just a child. I am a guardian of the forest, and I will restore the balance." Melinar laughed, but Mira's resolve did not waver. The sorcerer challenged her to a final test of strength and will. He conjured illusions of her greatest fears: darkness, loss, and loneliness. But Mira remembered the love and support she had received from the forest creatures and the village she cherished. She faced each fear with bravery and compassion, her heart shining with light. Seeing Mira's unwavering spirit, Melinar's own heart began to waver. The darkness that had enveloped him started to recede, and the heart of the forest, glowing with a soft, golden light, was revealed. Realizing the error of his ways, Melinar surrendered the heart and fled, leaving Mira victorious. With the heart of the forest safely in her hands, Mira made her way back to the elder tree. As she returned the crystal to its rightful place, the magic of the Whispering Woods was restored. And the forest came alive with vibrant colors and joyous sounds. The villagers of Everbrook celebrated Mira's bravery and kindness. The forest flourished, and the bond between the village and the Whispering Woods grew stronger than ever. And so, the Whispering Woods remained a place of enchantment and wonder, protected by the courage and compassion of a young girl named Mira. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a distant kingdom surrounded by tall, misty mountains and lush green valleys, there was a serene village called Crystalbrook. The village was named after a beautiful lake with crystal-clear waters that shimmered like diamonds under the sunlight. It was said that the lake possessed magical powers, bestowing peace and prosperity upon the village. In Crystalbrook, there lived a young girl named Alina. Alina was known for her compassionate heart and her love for nature. She spent most of her days by the lake, talking to the animals and tending to the vibrant flowers that grew along its shores. She often heard whispers of a legend about a hidden treasure at the bottom of the lake, which could only be found by someone with a pure heart. One summer evening, as Alina was walking by the lake, she noticed the water glowing with an unusual light. Curiosity sparked within her, and she stepped closer to the edge. Suddenly, a graceful swan emerged from the water. Its feathers glistened like silver, and its eyes sparkled with wisdom. Alina, the swan, spoke softly, "I am Selene, the guardian of the Crystal Lake. A great darkness is approaching our land, and only the treasure hidden within the lake can save us. You have been chosen to retrieve it, for your heart is pure and full of kindness." Alina felt a mixture of fear and determination. "How will I find it?" she asked. Selene extended one of her silver feathers to Alina. "Take this feather," she said. "It will guide you to the treasure and protect you from harm. Remember, only true courage and selflessness will reveal the path." With the feather in hand, Alina waded into the lake. As she moved deeper, the water parted before her, creating a pathway. She followed it to the center of the lake, where she found a hidden cave illuminated by a soft, golden glow. Inside the cave, she discovered an ancient chest adorned with intricate carvings. Alina opened the chest, revealing a beautiful, radiant crystal. As she touched it, the crystal emitted a warm, comforting light. Selene appeared beside her, smiling. "You have found the heart of the lake," Selene said. "This crystal holds the power to banish darkness and restore balance to our land. You must take it to the top of Mount Lumina, where its light can shine upon the entire kingdom." Alina knew the journey would be perilous, but she was determined to save her village. She climbed out of the lake, crystal in hand, and began her ascent to Mount Lumina. Along the way, she encountered many challenges. She crossed treacherous ravines, navigated dense forests, and braved harsh winds. As she climbed higher, she met a wounded deer trapped in a thorny thicket. Despite her urgency, Alina couldn't ignore the deer's plight. She carefully freed it, using Selene's feather to heal its wounds. The deer, grateful for her kindness, accompanied her on her journey. Near the summit, a fierce storm threatened to halt her progress. The winds howled, and the skies darkened. But Alina held the crystal close, its light guiding her through the tempest. With every step, the storm seemed to weaken, until finally, she reached the peak. At the top of Mount Lumina, Alina placed the crystal on an ancient pedestal. The crystal's light grew brighter and brighter, piercing through the clouds and casting a radiant glow across the land. The storm dissipated, and the darkness retreated, replaced by a warm, golden light that brought life and prosperity back to the kingdom. Selene appeared once more, her eyes filled with gratitude. "You have done it, Alina. Your bravery and selflessness have saved us all. The heart of the lake will continue to shine, protecting our land for generations to come." Alina returned to Crystalbrook as a hero. The villagers celebrated her courage and kindness, and the story of her journey spread throughout the kingdom. The heart of the lake continued to glow, a symbol of hope and unity. And so, Alina lived a life full of joy and adventure, always remembered as the girl who saved her kingdom with the power of her pure heart. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a kingdom not found on any map, there was a realm of gears and magic called Clockwork. This land was ruled by a wise and kind-hearted queen named Elara. Queen Elara was no ordinary monarch, she had a special gift. Her heart was connected to the kingdom's grand clock, a magnificent timepiece that ticked rhythmically at the center of the capital city. This clock wasn't just for telling time, it governed the very essence of magic in the land. The kingdom thrived in harmony, thanks to the clock. Every tick brought a fresh bloom of flowers, and every tock sent a gentle breeze to cool the land. However, this perfect balance was threatened one fateful day when a mysterious shadowy figure appeared at the edge of the kingdom. This figure was none other than an envious sorcerer named Malachi, who had longed for the magic of the Clockwork Kingdom. He harbored a dark spell that could halt the grand clock's gears, plunging the land into chaos. Disguised as a humble traveler, Malachi entered the kingdom and managed to slip into the palace unnoticed. There, he whispered his spell into the heart of the clock. As the spell took hold, the once harmonious ticking of the clock began to falter. Flowers wilted, and the breeze turned into a harsh wind. Queen Elara, sensing the imbalance, knew that something was terribly wrong. She called upon her trusted advisor, a clever mechanical owl named Hoot, and together they set out to find the source of the disturbance. Hoot's mechanical eyes scanned the kingdom's clockwork machinery while Elara used her magic to sense the disruption. They soon discovered the dark enchantment at the heart of the clock. Realizing the urgency of the situation, Elara and Hoot needed to act quickly to save their beloved kingdom. They set out on a perilous journey to find the only thing that could break Malachi's spell, a legendary artifact known as the Crystal Key. This key was said to be hidden deep within the enchanted forest, guarded by ancient beings and tricky puzzles. The enchanted forest was no ordinary woodland. Its trees whispered secrets, and its paths shifted with every step. Elara and Hoot ventured deeper into the forest, facing numerous challenges. They solved riddles posed by talking animals, navigated through shifting illusions, and even braved the trials of the Forest Guardian, a majestic stag with eyes like glowing emeralds. At the heart of the forest, they finally reached the hidden sanctuary where the crystal key lay. It was a radiant gem that pulsed with a soft, inviting glow. But to retrieve it, they needed to answer one final riddle posed by the Guardian: what binds time and magic together, yet never can be seen? Elara thought deeply, her mind racing through the magical principles she had learned over the years. Then it struck her, "It is the essence of balance," she exclaimed. The Guardian's eyes sparkled with approval, and the crystal key floated into her hands. With the crystal key in their possession, Elara and Hoot raced back to the kingdom. As they approached the grand clock, Malachi reappeared, furious at their success. He tried to unleash his dark magic once more, but Elara was ready. She used the crystal key to counteract the spell, and with a surge of magic, the grand clock began to tick smoothly once again. The kingdom's harmony was restored. Flowers bloomed, and the breeze became gentle once more. Malachi, realizing he was defeated, fled into the shadows, never to be seen again. Queen Elara and Hoot were celebrated as heroes. the kingdom rejoiced in their restored magic and balance. From that day on, the grand clock continued its steady rhythm, and the people of Clockwork lived in peace and prosperity. And as for Elara, she never forgot the lesson that balance was the key to harmony, and that even in times of darkness, courage and wisdom could restore the light. And so, in the enchanted land of Clockwork, time ticked on, carrying with it the magic of harmony in the legacy of a brave queen and her loyal friend. And they all lived happily ever after. The end.
Once upon a time, in a charming little village nestled between rolling hills, there was a legend about a magical bridge that appeared only under the light of the full moon. This bridge, said to be made of shimmering stardust, could take those who crossed it to a land of wonders. In this village lived a curious girl named Lily. Lily had always been enchanted by stories of far-off lands and hidden treasures. Every month, she would gaze at the full moon, hoping to catch a glimpse of the legendary bridge. One clear night, when the full moon bathed the village in a silvery glow, Lily noticed something extraordinary. A faint, sparkling bridge appeared over the river near her home. Her heart raced with excitement. Gathering her courage, she decided to cross the bridge and see where it led. As Lily stepped onto the bridge, she felt a gentle, cool breeze and saw the stars twinkling around her like diamonds. The bridge seemed to stretch endlessly into the sky. She walked with a sense of wonder until she reached the other side. There, Lily found herself in a magical land where the trees were made of crystal and the flowers sang soft lullabies. The sky was a canvas of swirling colors, and in the distance, a magnificent castle sparkled like 1,000 stars. Lily ventured towards the castle, her eyes wide with amazement. As she approached, a friendly unicorn with a shimmering mane greeted her. "Welcome to the land of Stardust," the unicorn said in a warm, musical voice. "I am Celestia. I've been waiting for someone like you to arrive." Lily was thrilled. "Thank you. I've always dreamed of exploring a magical land. How can I help or learn more about this place?" Celestia's eyes twinkled. "Our land is in need of your help. The Heart of Stardust, a magical gem that keeps our world vibrant and alive, has been stolen by a mischievous sorcerer. Without it, our land is losing its magic. We need someone brave to retrieve it." Determined to help, Lily agreed. Celestia handed her a glowing map and a small silver key. "Follow this map to the Sorcerer's Tower. The key will unlock the door to the chamber where the Heart of Stardust is kept." Lily thanked Celestia and set off, guided by the glowing map. She traveled through enchanted forests, crossed sparkling rivers, and climbed hills that seemed to touch the sky. Along the way, she encountered various magical creatures who offered her guidance and encouragement. Finally, Lily reached the Sorcerer's Tower, a dark and foreboding structure surrounded by swirling fog. With the silver key in hand, she unlocked the heavy door and stepped inside. The chamber was dimly lit, and there, atop a pedestal, was the Heart of Stardust, glowing softly. But before Lily could reach it, the mischievous sorcerer appeared. He had a sly grin and waved his wand. "So, you come to take back the Heart of Stardust, have you? But you'll need to outwit me first." The sorcerer conjured a series of magical challenges, each more difficult than the last. There were riddles to solve, illusions to see through, and obstacles to overcome. Lily faced each challenge with courage and cleverness, using the skills she had learned from the magical creatures she met along her journey. Finally, after a series of trials, Lily stood before the Heart of Stardust. She looked at the sorcerer and said, "The magic you've taken was never meant to be yours. It belongs to the land of Stardust, and it's time to return it." Moved by Lily's bravery and the strength of her spirit, the sorcerer's heart softened. He sighed and said, "You have shown great courage and kindness. I'll return the Heart of Stardust, but promise me you will use your adventures to spread goodwill and understanding." Lily agreed, and the sorcerer gently placed the Heart of Stardust back on its pedestal. The chamber filled with a warm, golden light, and the magical land began to shimmer and glow once more. With the Heart of Stardust restored, the land was vibrant and alive again. Celestia and the magical creatures celebrated Lily's bravery with a grand feast. The stars twinkled brightly, and the sky danced with colors. As a token of their gratitude, Celestia gave Lily a small star-shaped charm. This charm will allow you to visit our land whenever you wish. Remember, the magic of friendship and bravery can light up even the darkest of places. Lily returned to her village, her heart full of joy and wonder. She often shared her adventures with the villagers, inspiring them with tales of bravery and magic. And every full moon, she would gaze at the starry sky, knowing that she could always return to the land of stardust whenever she wished.
Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the sky shimmered with countless stars every night, there was a small village named Starlight. The villagers of Starlight were known for their wisdom and their deep connection to the night sky, which they believed was filled with magic and wonder. In this village lived a young boy named Finn. Finn had always been fascinated by the stars. Every evening, he would lie on the grass and gaze up at the night sky, dreaming of adventures beyond the village. One evening, as Finn was stargazing, he noticed a single star that seemed to shine brighter than the others. It twinkled with a mesmerizing, golden light. Finn was so entranced by its brilliance that he lost track of time. Suddenly, the star began to descend slowly, landing gently in front of him. To Finn's astonishment, the star transformed into a tiny, radiant figure, a fairy with delicate wings that glowed like the night sky. She introduced herself as Lyra, the Star Fairy. "Greetings, Finn. I've come to seek your help," she said with a voice like a soft chime. Finn, wide-eyed with excitement, asked, "How can I help you, Lyra?" Lyra explained that she was on a quest to find the Starry Compass, a magical artifact that had been lost for centuries. The Starry Compass was said to have the power to guide anyone to their heart's desire. It was hidden in a mystical land beyond the forest, protected by enchanted creatures and magical puzzles. "I need someone with a pure heart and a brave spirit to help me find it," Lyra said. "Will you join me on this quest?" Finn, eager for an adventure, agreed without hesitation. Lyra sprinkled some stardust over Finn, and they set off on their journey. Their first challenge was to cross the Whispering River, which was known for its mysterious currents and enchanted creatures. As they reached the riverbank, a group of playful water sprites appeared, their laughter echoing through the forest. "Welcome to the Whispering River," said one sprite. "To cross, you must solve our riddle. Answer correctly, and the path will be revealed." Lyra and Finn listened carefully as the sprite spoke the riddle. "I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?" Finn thought hard, and then his eyes lit up with realization. "A map," he exclaimed. The sprites cheered, and a shimmering bridge made of moonlight appeared across the river. Finn and Lyra crossed safely to the other side. Their next challenge took them to the Forest of Echoes, a magical forest where every sound was repeated by the trees. In the center of the forest stood a grand oak tree with a door carved into its trunk. The door was locked with a combination of melodies. Lyra whispered, "We must play the right tune to open the door. Listen to the echoes and follow their melody." Finn listened carefully to the repeating echoes of the forest. He remembered the lullabies his grandmother used to sing and began humming a gentle tune. The echoes harmonized with his melody, and the grand oak tree's door slowly creaked open. Inside the oak tree, they found a golden chest with intricate designs. Finn opened the chest, revealing a shimmering star-shaped key, the key to the Starry Compass. Lyra's eyes sparkled with joy. "The Starry Compass must be hidden in the celestial caves," Lyra explained. "We're almost there." With the star-shaped key in hand, Finn and Lyra made their way to the celestial caves, which were illuminated by the soft glow of countless crystals. Inside the caves, they faced one final test, a labyrinth of mirrors that reflected light in every direction. To find their way, they had to use the star-shaped key to align the mirrors and create a beam of light that would guide them to the hidden chamber. After some effort, Finn and Lyra succeeded in aligning the mirrors. The beam of light revealed a hidden passage leading to a small, enchanting chamber. In the center of the chamber stood the starry compass, glowing with a warm, golden light. Lyra and Finn approached the compass. As they touched it, the compass spun gently and then pointed towards a distant part of the sky. The compass's glow brightened, filling the chamber with a soft, comforting light. "You have done it, Finn!" Lyra exclaimed. "The starry compass is now in our hands. With this, we can guide people to their heart's desires and bring hope and joy to the world." Lyra thanked Finn for his bravery and kind heart. As a token of gratitude, she gifted him a small star-shaped pendant that would always remind him of their adventure. As Finn returned to Starlight, the village was abuzz with excitement about his journey. He shared his tale, and the villagers celebrated the return of the starry compass. From that day on, Finn was known as the boy who helped find the starry compass. The compass's magic brought prosperity and hope to the kingdom, and Finn's bravery became a cherished story passed down through generations. And every night, when Finn looked up at the stars, he felt a special connection to the magical adventure he had experienced and the fairy who had guided him on his journey. Once upon a time, in the quaint village of Willowbrook, nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there was a young girl named Lila. Known for her beautiful singing voice, Lila lived with her grandmother, who was a skilled herbalist. Their cozy cottage was filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the warmth of love and laughter. One evening, as Lila and her grandmother were preparing for the harvest festival, a mysterious fog rolled into Willowbrook. The villagers gathered in concern as the fog thickened and an eerie silence fell over the land. The usually vibrant flowers wilted, and the river's song seemed to falter. The village elder, a wise woman named Seraphina, explained that the fog was caused by the loss of the enchanted melody, a magical tune that kept the balance of nature in harmony. According to the ancient legend, the enchanted melody was kept in a hidden glade within the Whispering Woods, a forest that no one dared to enter due to its enchantments. Determined to restore peace to her village, Lila decided to venture into the Whispering Woods to find the lost melody. Her loyal companion, a clever squirrel named Nutmeg, decided to join her. As Lila and Nutmeg entered the Whispering Woods, the trees seemed to whisper secrets and the path twisted in unexpected ways. Their first challenge was a labyrinth of thorns that seemed to shift and move. Just as they began to despair, a gentle voice spoke from above. "To pass through the thorns, you must solve my riddle," said a graceful phoenix perched on a branch. "I have keys but open no locks, I have space but no room, you can enter but not go outside. What am I?" Lila thought carefully and then smiled. "A piano." The phoenix flapped its fiery wings, and the thorns parted, revealing a clear path. Lila and Nutmeg continued their journey and soon reached a shimmering lake with a swan gliding gracefully across its surface. The swan approached them with a solemn expression. "To find the enchanted melody, you must show compassion," said the swan. "This lily has wilted, can you bring it back to life?" Lila carefully tended to the wilted lily, singing a soft and soothing song that her grandmother had taught her. As she sang, the lily's petals unfurled and its color returned. The swan smiled and, in gratitude, created a bridge of moonlight across the lake for them to cross. As they walked through the forest, they arrived at a moonlit glade where a silver tree stood at its center. The tree's branches were covered with shimmering leaves that seemed to hum with a gentle melody. However, the tree was surrounded by a circle of dark shadows. Emerging from the shadows was an imposing figure, an ancient sorcerer named Vorten, who had stolen the enchanted melody to harness its power for himself. His eyes glowed with malevolent intent as he brandished a dark staff. "The melody is mine," Vorten bellowed. "You cannot have it." Lila stood her ground, her heart pounding with determination. "The enchanted melody belongs to everyone. It should be used to bring harmony and joy, not to control others." Vorten raised his staff, ready to unleash his dark magic, but Nutmeg darted forward and bit the sorcerer's hand, causing him to drop his staff. In the ensuing struggle, Lila seized the enchanted melody from the tree's branches. A brilliant light burst forth from the melody, dispelling the shadows and banishing Vorten from the glade. With the melody in her hands, Lila made a wish, I wish for the fog to lift and for Willowbrook to return to its former beauty. The enchanted melody's light spread throughout the whispering woods and beyond, lifting the fog and restoring the land to its vibrant self. The flowers bloomed, the river sang once more, and the village of Willowbrook was filled with light and joy. Lila and Nutmeg returned to the village as heroes. The villagers celebrated their bravery with a grand festival, where Lila's enchanting voice filled the air, her songs blending perfectly with the restored melody. The enchanted melody was placed in a special shrine in the village, where its magic could continue to protect and bring happiness to the land. Lila's bravery and compassion were remembered for generations, and her story became a beloved legend, inspiring others to act with kindness and courage. And so, the village of Willowbrook thrived under the watchful eyes of its brave young heroine, living happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far beyond the seas, there was a young prince named Cedric. Cedric was kind-hearted and brave, loved by all in the kingdom. His father, King Harold, was wise and just, ruling the land with a fair hand. However, a shadow loomed over the kingdom. The queen, Cedric's mother, had fallen gravely ill. No healer in the land could cure her, and each day she grew weaker. One day, an old sage visited the castle and told King Harold of a magical golden feather that could heal any ailment. This feather belonged to the phoenix, a mythical bird that lived atop the tallest mountain in the enchanted forest. However, the journey to the phoenix's nest was fraught with peril. Without hesitation, Prince Cedric volunteered to embark on this quest. The king reluctantly agreed, knowing that time was running out for the queen. He gave Cedric his blessing, a sturdy sword, and a magical amulet for protection. Cedric set off at dawn, riding his trusty horse, Shadow. The journey to the enchanted forest was long and arduous. As Cedric entered the forest, the trees seemed to close in around him, and eerie sounds filled the air. But he pressed on, determined to save his mother. After several days of travel, Cedric reached the base of the tallest mountain. He began his ascent, the air growing colder and thinner with each step. Halfway up, he encountered a ferocious dragon guarding the path. The dragon's scales glittered like emeralds, and its eyes burned with an intense fire. "Who dares to climb this mountain?" the dragon roared. "I am Prince Cedric," he replied boldly. "I seek the golden feather of the phoenix to save my mother, the queen." The dragon, taken aback by Cedric's courage, pondered for a moment. "Many have tried and failed," it said. "But I sense truth and bravery in you. If you can solve my riddle, I will let you pass." Cedric agreed, and the dragon recited the riddle. "I fly without wings, I cry without eyes. Whenever I go, darkness flies. What am I?" Cedric thought hard, and after a moment, he answered, "You are a cloud." The dragon nodded, impressed. "You are correct. You may pass, Prince Cedric. May fortune favor you." Cedric continued his climb, finally reaching the summit where the phoenix nested. The bird was a magnificent sight, with feathers of fiery gold and eyes that sparkled like the stars. Cedric approached respectfully and explained his quest. The phoenix listened and then spoke in a melodious voice. "I will give you one of my feathers, for your cause is noble. But remember, true healing comes not just from magic, but from the love and care of those around us." The phoenix plucked a golden feather from its wing and handed it to Cedric. Grateful, Cedric thanked the phoenix and began his journey back home. On his return, Cedric faced many trials but overcame them with the help of the magical amulet and his unwavering determination. When he finally reached the castle, he rushed to his mother's side. Gently, he placed the golden feather on her chest. A warm, golden light enveloped her, and slowly, the queen's strength returned. Her eyes opened, and she smiled at her son, filled with gratitude and love. The kingdom rejoiced at the queen's recovery, and Cedric was hailed as a hero. He had not only brought back the magical feather but also inspired the people with his bravery and devotion. King Harold embraced his son. "You have proven yourself to be a true prince and a worthy future king. Your mother and I are proud of you." The sage's words echoed in Cedric's mind. True healing comes from love and care. He realized that while the golden feather had sparked his mother's recovery, it was the love of her family and the support of the kingdom that had truly healed her. The tale of Prince Cedric and the golden feather became a cherished legend, reminding all that the greatest magic lies in the strength of love and the courage to face any challenge. The kingdom flourished under Cedric's eventual rule, guided by the lessons he had learned on his journey. And so, Prince Cedric, the queen, and all the people of the kingdom lived happily ever after, their hearts united by the magic of love and bravery. Once upon a time, in a quaint village surrounded by whispering woods and rolling hills, there was a mysterious garden known only as the Midnight Garden. It was said to be a magical place where flowers bloomed under the moonlight, and hidden wonders awaited those who visited after dusk. However, no one dared enter, for it was rumored that only those with a pure heart could discover its secrets. In this village lived a curious girl named Elara. She had a heart full of kindness and a spirit of adventure. Every night, she would gaze at the Midnight Garden from her window, wondering what lay beyond its gates. The villagers often spoke of the garden's beauty, but no one had ever ventured inside. One night, as the full moon cast its silvery light over the land, Elara decided to uncover the mystery of the Midnight Garden. She put on her warmest cloak, grabbed a lantern, and tiptoed out of her house. With a deep breath, she made her way through the forest to the garden's entrance. The gate was old and covered in ivy, but it creaked open with a gentle push. Elara stepped inside, her lantern casting a soft glow on the path. As she walked, she noticed the air was filled with a sweet fragrance, and the flowers seemed to shimmer in the moonlight. The garden was more beautiful than she had ever imagined. Elara wandered deeper into the garden until she reached a sparkling fountain at its center. The water danced like liquid silver, and at its base lay a golden key. Beside the fountain was a small, ancient book resting on a pedestal. The book had a lock, and the golden key fit perfectly. With a mixture of excitement and curiosity, Elara unlocked the book. Inside, she found an old parchment with a riddle written in elegant script, underscore, to find the garden's greatest treasure, seek the path of light and pleasure. 3 tasks await, brave and true, complete them all, and dreams come through. Underscore Elara read the riddle aloud and felt a rush of determination. The garden was filled with magical creatures and hidden paths, and she knew she had to complete the tasks to discover the treasure. Her first task was to find the path of light. She followed the glowing flowers that seemed to lead her through the garden. The flowers lit up one by one as she approached, forming a glowing trail. At the end of the path, Elara found a majestic tree with shimmering leaves. At its base was a small chest. Inside the chest was a silver locket. As Elara opened it, she saw a tiny, enchanted mirror. It showed her a reflection of a smiling face. The mirror seemed to hold a special magic, but she knew there was more to discover. The second task was to find the path of pleasure. Elara followed the sounds of joyful laughter and music. She arrived at a clearing where fairy lights floated in the air and cheerful pixies danced around a large, glowing mushroom. The pixies invited her to join their dance. Elara danced with the pixies, and as she twirled and laughed, she felt a sense of pure joy. The pixies gifted her a delicate flower with petals that sparkled like stars. They told her the flower would guide her to the final task. With the flower in hand, Elara continued her journey. The third task was to find the path of truth. Guided by the sparkling petals, she arrived at a moonlit glade where a wise old owl perched on a branch. "Welcome, Elara," the owl said in a gentle voice. "To complete the final task, you must answer a question of great importance. What is the true nature of the Midnight Garden?" Elara thought deeply. The garden was full of beauty and magic, but its true nature, she realized, was not just the wonders she had seen but the kindness and joy it inspired. She spoke her answer aloud. "The Midnight Garden's true nature is the magic of love and the happiness it brings to those who enter with a pure heart." The owl nodded approvingly and flapped its wings. "You have answered correctly. The Midnight Garden's greatest treasure is the ability to bring joy and magic into the hearts of those who believe." Suddenly, the garden began to shimmer with a brilliant light, and Alara saw the entire garden transformed into a place of radiant beauty. The flowers glowed with an even brighter light, the fountain sparkled with new energy, and the air was filled with an enchanting melody. Alara realized that the true treasure was not a physical object but the experience and the joy she had found. She thanked the owl and the magical creatures of the garden. As dawn approached, Alara left the midnight garden, her heart full of happiness and wonder. She knew the garden's magic would always be with her, reminding her of the importance of kindness, joy, and the magic within a pure heart. From that day on, the villagers spoke of Alara's adventure with awe, and the midnight garden became a symbol of the magic that lies in believing in the beauty and wonder of the world around us. In the heart of a lush, green valley, there lay a hidden village called Willow Glen. The village was known for its ancient willow tree, whose branches draped gracefully into a sparkling pond. This tree was said to possess magic that could grant one wish to those who proved themselves worthy. The village's guardian of the willow was a wise old woman named Elda, who knew all the secrets of the tree. One day, a young girl named Clara arrived in Willow Glen. She was on a quest to find her missing mother, who had mysteriously disappeared many moons ago. Clara had heard about the willow's magic and hoped it could help her find her mother. Elda welcomed Clara and listened to her story. The willow's magic is powerful, but to unlock it, you must complete 3 tasks that test your heart and spirit. Only then will the tree reveal the truth you seek. Determined to find her mother, Clara agreed to the tasks. Task 1, the Bridge of Courage. Clara's first task was to cross a rickety old bridge that spanned a deep chasm. The bridge was known for being unstable, with creaky wooden planks and a swift river below. As Clara approached, she noticed a small bird perched on the edge, chirping frantically. It turned out that the bird had lost its nest, which had fallen into the chasm. With great care, Clara used her courage and ingenuity. She tied vines together to create a makeshift rope and carefully descended into the chasm. There, she found the nest, gently retrieving it and climbing back up to the bridge. The grateful bird led Clara across the bridge, and as she reached the other side, the bridge steadied and became solid, allowing her to continue. Task 2, the Forest of Shadows. The second task led Clara into the Forest of Shadows, a place where darkness seemed to cling to every tree and path. The forest was said to be haunted by illusions and fears. Clara ventured in, her heart pounding as the shadows danced around her. In the midst of the forest, she encountered a giant, shadowy beast that blocked her way. Though frightened, Clara remembered the stories of her mother, who had taught her about kindness and bravery. She approached the beast and spoke softly, acknowledging its pain and fear. The beast, revealed to be a misunderstood spirit, was moved by Clara's compassion. It allowed her to pass and gave her a glowing crystal as a token of its gratitude. Task 3, the Lake of Truth. The final task was to seek the Lake of Truth, where Clara would find an answer to her quest. The lake was shrouded in mist, and its waters were still and mysterious. Clara approached the lake and gently placed the glowing crystal into the water. As the crystal touched the surface, the lake shimmered and a figure emerged, a vision of her mother, smiling warmly. Clara's heart soared with hope as her mother spoke through the mist. "I am safe, dear Clara. I chose to leave to protect you and our village from an ancient danger. The willow tree's magic has guided you here to find me, and now it is time for you to be brave and lead our people." The vision faded, and Clara felt a sense of peace and purpose. She returned to the village with the knowledge that her mother was safe and that she had been chosen to protect Willow Glen. Elda greeted Clara with pride and handed her a branch from the ancient willow tree. "You have completed the tasks with honor and bravery. The magic of the willow is now yours to protect and share." Clara embraced her new role, using the magic of the willow to bring prosperity and harmony to Willow Glen. The village flourished, and the ancient willow continued to stand tall, its magic a symbol of courage, love, and the strength found within. And so, Clara's journey became a cherished tale, passed down through generations, a reminder that even in the darkest times, bravery and kindness could light the way. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by rolling hills and verdant meadows, there was an ancient tree known as the Whispering Willow. The tree was revered by the villagers for its enchanting ability to communicate with those who sought its wisdom. The willow's branches swayed with a gentle grace, and its leaves rustled softly, carrying messages from the wind. In this village lived a kind-hearted young woman named Clara. Clara was known for her compassion and her willingness to help others, but she had always felt a sense of restlessness and a longing for adventure. She often dreamed of exploring distant lands and discovering hidden secrets, but her responsibilities at home kept her grounded. One summer evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Clara visited the Whispering Willow to seek guidance about her dreams. She sat beneath the tree's sprawling branches and closed her eyes, listening to the soothing whispers carried by the wind. "Whispering Willow," Clara said softly, "I feel a deep longing in my heart to explore and discover new things. Can you help me find my path?" The willow's leaves rustled with a gentle sigh, and a soft, melodic voice spoke from the tree. "Clara, your heart is full of dreams and wonder. To find the path you seek, you must embark on a journey beyond the village, guided by the stars and your inner light. Follow the path of moonlit petals, and you will find what you seek." With a renewed sense of purpose, Clara decided to follow the Whispering Willow's advice. That night, she packed a small satchel with essentials and set out under the light of the full moon. As she walked, she noticed that the moonlight illuminated a path of glowing petals leading into the forest. The path of moonlit petals guided Clara through the forest, where she encountered magical creatures, a wise old owl who gave her directions, a playful fox who shared a riddle, and a gentle deer who offered her a map of the stars. Each encounter provided Clara with valuable insights and encouragement. After several days of travel, Clara reached a hidden glade at the heart of the forest. In the center of the glade stood a magnificent crystal fountain, its waters shimmering with an ethereal light. Around the fountain, the moonlit petals formed a radiant circle. As Clara approached the fountain, she felt a sense of awe and wonder. The fountain's waters sparkled with the light of countless stars, and the air was filled with a soft, harmonious melody. Clara knelt by the fountain and made a heartfelt wish to find her true purpose and fulfill her dreams. Suddenly, the waters of the fountain began to swirl and rise, forming a beautiful, glowing figure. It was the spirit of the Whispering Willow, appearing before Clara in its true form, a radiant being of light and grace. "Clara," the spirit said, "you have followed the path with courage and an open heart. The journey you have undertaken has revealed your inner strength and determination. The true magic lies within you, and your dreams are a reflection of your heart's desires. To find your purpose, you must continue to embrace the journey with the same spirit of adventure and kindness." The spirit touched Clara's forehead with a gentle, luminous hand, and a sense of clarity and peace washed over her. Clara understood that her true purpose was not just to seek adventure but to bring light and joy to others along her journey. With a heart full of newfound wisdom, Clara returned to her village. She shared her experiences with the villagers and used her knowledge and compassion to help them in new and creative ways. She organized festivals to celebrate their traditions, started a community garden to bring people together, and used her adventures to inspire others to follow their dreams. The village thrived with Clara's contributions, and her adventures became the stuff of legends. The Whispering Willow continued to stand tall, its whispers carrying messages of hope and inspiration to those who sought its wisdom. And so, Clara lived a life filled with purpose and fulfillment. Knowing that the true magic of her journey lay not just in discovering new places but in touching the lives of those around her. The Whispering Willow's lessons guided her every step of the way, and her story became a cherished tale in the village, a reminder of the magic that lies within each of us. The end. Once upon a time, in a hidden valley surrounded by misty mountains, there was a magical village called Starhaven. This village was known for its extraordinary night skies, where stars seemed to dance and twinkle more brightly than anywhere else in the world. The village's most cherished treasure was the Stardust Fountain, a beautiful fountain said to be blessed by the star spirits themselves. In Starhaven lived a curious and imaginative girl named Lyra. Lyra loved to stargaze and dream of distant places. She often wandered the village at night, marveling at the starry sky and listening to the gentle lullabies sung by the star spirits. One evening, as Lyra was near the Stardust Fountain, she noticed something unusual. The fountain's water had stopped shimmering, and the stars above seemed dimmer than usual. Concerned, Lyra approached the fountain and discovered a small, glowing note at its base. The note read, "To restore the star's light, you must find the celestial crown hidden in the Shadow Grove. Only then can the night sky be made bright again." Lyra felt a surge of determination. She knew she had to find the celestial crown to restore the magic of Starhaven. With a sense of purpose, she set out on her quest, guided by the light of the stars and the soft glow of the note. The Shadow Grove was a mysterious and dark forest on the edge of Starhaven. As Lyra entered the grove, she noticed that the trees seemed to whisper secrets and the air was filled with a sense of enchantment. She followed a narrow path that led deeper into the forest, where shadows danced among the trees. Suddenly, a soft, melodic voice spoke from the shadows. "To find the celestial crown, you must complete 3 trials," said a graceful figure emerging from the darkness. It was a moonlight fairy with wings that sparkled like stars. The first trial was the trial of courage. The fairy led Lyra to a vast, dark cavern where a fearsome dragon lay sleeping. To pass the trial, Lyra had to retrieve a glowing crystal from the cavern's center without waking the dragon. Lyra approached the dragon carefully, her heart pounding, but her determination was unwavering. With a steady hand, she retrieved the crystal and carefully returned it to the fairy. The fairy smiled and guided Lyra to the second trial, the trial of compassion. In a hidden glade, Lyra found a wounded nightingale with a broken wing. The fairy explained that the nightingale needed help to fly again. Lyra gently tended to the bird, using her own scarf to create a makeshift bandage. She sang a soothing lullaby, and the nightingale's strength gradually returned. The bird fluttered its wings and flew gracefully, and the fairy rewarded Lyra with a shimmering feather. The final trial was the trial of wisdom. Lyra was taken to an ancient, enchanted tree with a mysterious inscription on its trunk: "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Lyra thought carefully and answered, "A joke." The inscription glowed brightly, revealing a hidden compartment containing a silver key. With the key in hand, Lyra followed the fairy to the heart of the Shadow Grove, where she found an ancient, locked chest adorned with celestial patterns. She used the silver key to unlock the chest, revealing the celestial crown, a magnificent crown adorned with radiant jewels that sparkled like the night sky. As Lyra placed the crown on the Stardust Fountain, the fountain's water began to shimmer with a brilliant light. The stars above grew brighter, filling the sky with a dazzling display of twinkling constellations. The magic of the night sky was restored, and the village of Starhaven rejoiced. Lyra returned to Starhaven as a hero. The villagers celebrated her bravery and kindness with a grand festival beneath the starry sky. The Stardust Fountain continued to shine brightly, and the night sky of Starhaven became even more magical than before. Lyra's adventure became a cherished tale in Starhaven, and she grew up to be a wise and inspiring leader. The stars continued to dance and twinkle, reminding everyone of the courage and compassion that had restored their light. And so, Starhaven thrived under the brilliance of its magical night sky, and Lyra's story lived on, a testament to the power of bravery and kindness. And they all lived happily ever after. The Whispering Willow. Once upon a time, in a picturesque valley surrounded by towering mountains and lush forests, there was a quaint village named Eldergrove. This village was known for its harmony and the mysterious Whispering Willow tree that stood at its edge. The Whispering Willow was said to have the ability to grant one wish every 100 years, but only to someone who truly deserved it. In Eldergrove lived a young boy named Finn, who was known for his generosity and bravery. Finn often helped the villagers with their chores, and he had a special bond with the animals in the forest. However, his village faced a great challenge. A severe drought had dried up the river that flowed through Eldergrove, leaving the land parched and the villagers worried. One day, while Finn was tending to the animals, he overheard the elders talking about the Whispering Willow and its magic. Desperate to help his village, Finn decided he would find the Whispering Willow and make a wish to restore the river and save Eldergrove. the quest for the Whispering Willow. Early the next morning, Finn set off on his quest. He packed a small bag with supplies, a loaf of bread, a flask of water, and a warm cloak, and ventured into the forest. The path to the Whispering Willow was said to be filled with trials that tested one's heart and courage. As Finn journeyed through the forest, he encountered a wise old fox with a silver-tipped tail. The fox spoke with a gentle voice, "To reach the Whispering Willow, you must first solve my riddle. I can fly without wings, I can cry without eyes. Wherever I go, darkness follows me. What am I?" Finn pondered the riddle and replied, "A cloud." The fox's eyes twinkled with approval, and he pointed Finn towards a hidden path lined with glowing mushrooms. Finn thanked the fox and followed the path deeper into the forest. The enchanted grove. The path led Finn to a beautiful grove where the trees shimmered with an otherworldly light. In the center of the grove was a serene pond with water so clear it seemed to reflect the stars. A graceful, golden stag with antlers like branches of a tree stood by the pond. The stag spoke softly, "To proceed, you must answer this riddle. I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I?" Finn thought carefully and said, "A map." The stag nodded and gently stepped aside, revealing a winding trail that led to the heart of the grove. Finn followed the trail with a sense of excitement and hope. The Whispering Willow. At the end of the trail, Finn found himself in front of the Whispering Willow. The tree was majestic and ancient, with branches that seemed to touch the sky. Its leaves rustled softly, as if whispering secrets to the wind. Finn approached the tree with reverence. A soft, ethereal voice echoed from the tree, "To receive the magic of the Whispering Willow, you must make a wish that comes from a heart full of love and selflessness." Finn took a deep breath and made his wish, "I wish for the river to be restored, so that the land may be fertile again and the villagers can thrive." As Finn spoke, the Whispering Willow's branches glowed with a warm, golden light. The light spread outwards, flowing through the forest and towards Eldergrove. Finn felt a gentle breeze as the magic began to work. The return to Eldergrove. When Finn returned to his village, he was greeted with a miraculous sight. The river had returned, its waters sparkling and flowing freely. The land was lush and green, the fields were fertile, and the villagers were overjoyed. The villagers celebrated with a grand feast in Finn's honor, grateful for the magic of the Whispering Willow that had restored their home. Finn's bravery and selflessness had brought prosperity and happiness back to Eldergrove. The tale of Finn and the Whispering Willow became a cherished story in the village, a reminder of the power of kindness and the magic that can be found when one's heart is full of love for others. And so, Eldergrove continued to flourish, forever blessed by the magic of the Whispering Willow and the heart of one extraordinary young boy. The kingdom of the Whispering Winds. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a kingdom known as Etheria. This kingdom was unlike any other, for it floated high above the clouds, suspended in the sky by the magic of the Whispering Winds. The Whispering Winds were not ordinary breezes, they were sentient, speaking in soft tones and carrying messages across the land. The people of Etheria lived in harmony with these winds, relying on their guidance and protection. In this kingdom lived a young prince named Zephyr. Zephyr was known for his adventurous spirit and his deep connection with the Whispering Winds. He could often be found at the highest point of the kingdom, listening to the winds as they shared tales of distant lands and ancient secrets. Though he loved his home, Zephyr longed to explore the world below the clouds, a place he had only heard of in stories. One day, while Zephyr was listening to the winds, they brought him troubling news. "The winds that hold Etheria in the sky are weakening," they whispered. "A dark force is trying to break the bond between the kingdom and the winds. If nothing is done, Etheria will fall." Alarmed, Zephyr knew he had to act quickly. He went to his father, King Aeolus, and told him what the winds had said. The king, a wise and just ruler, understood the gravity of the situation. "We must protect our kingdom, my son," King Aeolus said. "But to do so, we need the Crystal of Gale, an ancient artifact that has the power to strengthen the Whispering Winds. It is hidden in the Cave of Echoes, far below, on the earth." Zephyr volunteered immediately. "I will go, father. I will find the Crystal of Gale and save our kingdom." The king, though worried, trusted his son's courage and wisdom. He gave Zephyr a small, enchanted amulet shaped like a feather. "This will protect you on your journey. Remember, the winds will always guide you." Zephyr set out on his quest, riding a swift cloud ship that descended from Etheria towards the earth below. The journey was perilous, with dark clouds and fierce storms trying to hinder his progress. But Zephyr kept the amulet close, and the whispering winds whispered encouragement in his ear, guiding him safely through the tempest. After days of travel, Zephyr reached the earth, a place that felt both strange and wondrous to him. He landed in a dense forest where the trees whispered in the breeze, their leaves shimmering like silver. Following the wind's guidance, Zephyr made his way to the Cave of Echoes. The entrance to the cave was hidden behind a waterfall, its waters sparkling in the sunlight. Zephyr took a deep breath and stepped through the waterfall, finding himself in a vast cavern where every sound echoed endlessly. The air was thick with magic, and Zephyr could feel the presence of the Crystal of Gale deep within the cave. As he ventured deeper, Zephyr encountered the cave's guardian, a giant eagle with feathers of pure gold and eyes that gleamed like amber. The eagle spread its wings, blocking Zephyr's path. "Who dares enter the Cave of Echoes?" the eagle demanded, its voice reverberating through the cavern. "I am Prince Zephyr of Etheria," Zephyr replied, standing tall. "I seek the Crystal of Gale to save my kingdom from falling." The eagle studied Zephyr for a moment before speaking. "The Crystal of Gale is powerful, but it can only be taken by one who is pure of heart and truly cares for their people. To prove your worth, you must answer this riddle. What can you hold in your right hand but not in your left?" Zephyr thought for a moment, then smiled and answered, "My left hand." The eagle nodded in approval, and with a mighty flap of its wings, it revealed a hidden chamber within the cave. In the center of the chamber, on a pedestal of stone, sat the Crystal of Gale. The crystal was a brilliant blue, glowing with an inner light that pulsed gently like a heartbeat. Zephyr approached the crystal, and as he touched it, he felt a surge of energy and warmth. The whispering winds swirled around him, their voices full of joy. "You have found it, Zephyr. The Crystal of Gale will save Etheria." With the crystal in hand, Zephyr hurried back to his cloud ship and ascended once more into the sky. The journey back was just as challenging, but Zephyr's determination and the crystal's power helped him overcome every obstacle. When he finally returned to Etheria, the kingdom was on the brink of collapse, teetering on the edge of the sky. Zephyr rushed to the highest point in the kingdom, where a great stone circle known as the Circle of Wind stood. Placing the Crystal of Gale in the center of the circle, Zephyr watched as the crystal began to glow brighter and brighter. The whispering winds gathered around it, their strength restored. The winds lifted Etheria higher into the sky, stabilizing the kingdom and banishing the dark force that had threatened it. The people of Etheria rejoiced, and King Aeolus embraced his son, proud of his bravery and love for his home. From that day on, the Crystal of Gale was kept in the Circle of Winds, a symbol of the bond between the kingdom and the whispering winds. Prince Zephyr continued to explore the skies, always listening to the winds and protecting his kingdom. And so, Etheria flourished, floating high above the clouds, forever safe in the embrace of the whispering winds. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a faraway land known as Starlight Valley, there lived a young girl named Lyra. Starlight Valley was renowned for its brilliant night skies, where the stars shimmered like diamonds and seemed almost within reach. The valley's people believed that the stars were not just distant lights but the guardians of dreams and wishes. Among the villagers, Lyra was known for her deep fascination with the stars. Her father, an old stargazer, had told her stories about the Starcatcher, a mythical figure who could capture falling stars and make wishes come true. Lyra had always dreamed of becoming a starcatcher herself, but no one had seen one in many years, and the magic of the stars had become a distant memory for many. One crisp autumn night, while gazing at the sky, Lyra saw a shooting star fall from the heavens and land somewhere in the whispering woods that bordered the valley. She took it as a sign and decided to embark on a quest to find the fallen star and bring back its magic. Armed with a small satchel, a lantern, and her trusty compass, Lyra ventured into the whispering woods. The woods were alive with the sounds of chirping crickets and rustling leaves, and the path ahead was bathed in the soft glow of moonlight. As she ventured deeper, she encountered a wise old owl perched on a low branch. "Greetings, young seeker," the owl hooted. "To find the fallen star, you must first prove your worth. Solve this riddle to continue on your quest. I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I?" Lyra pondered for a moment and answered, "A map." The owl's eyes gleamed with approval. "You are correct. Follow the path of glowing mushrooms to find your next challenge." Lyra thanked the owl and followed the path of mushrooms, which led her to a tranquil glade. In the center of the glade stood an ancient stone archway, and beyond it was a shimmering pool of crystal-clear water. Guarding the pool was a graceful, silver-scaled fish with a golden tail. To retrieve the fallen star, the fish said, "You must show your true heart. To do so, you must answer this question: what is the one thing that grows stronger the more you give it away?" Lyra thought deeply and replied, "Friendship." The fish smiled and flicked its golden tail, causing the waters of the pool to part and reveal a hidden path. Lyra followed the path and arrived at a majestic, glowing cave where the star lay nestled in a bed of stardust. As Lyra approached the star, it began to speak in a soft, musical voice. "To release my magic, you must make a wish from your heart. But remember, true magic lies not in what you wish for yourself, but in what you wish for others." Lyra closed her eyes and thought about her village, which had faced many hardships and challenges. She made her wish for the well-being and happiness of everyone in Starlight Valley, hoping to bring joy and prosperity to her people. The star glowed brightly, and a wave of light spread from the cave, traveling across the valley. The night sky above Starlight Valley sparkled more brilliantly than ever, and the villagers awoke to find their lives transformed. The crops thrived, the river flowed with crystal-clear water, and a sense of harmony and joy enveloped the valley. When Lyra returned to her village, she was greeted with cheers and celebrations. The people marveled at the newfound prosperity and thanked Lyra for her bravery and selflessness. They celebrated her as a hero, and the tale of her quest became a beloved story passed down through generations. The star's magic continued to shine brightly in the night sky, a reminder of Lyra's noble wish and the power of selfless acts. Starlight Valley flourished, and the stars above seemed to shine even more brightly, guiding and inspiring all who looked up to them. And so, the kingdom of Starlight Valley thrived, with the magic of the stars and the kindness of a brave young girl bringing lasting happiness to the land. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a kingdom called Luminera, there was a small village named Crestwood. This village was nestled between rolling hills and bordered by the vast, mysterious Whispering Sea. Crestwood was known for its harmony and prosperity, thanks to the magical golden feather that hung in the village square. It was said that the feather was a gift from the legendary phoenix, and it brought good fortune and abundant harvests to the village. One day, a terrible storm struck Crestwood. The winds howled and the sea raged, and when the storm finally passed, the villagers discovered that the golden feather was missing. The village was plunged into despair, and the crops began to wither. The village elders, desperate to restore their prosperity, called for a meeting to decide what to do. In Crestwood lived a young boy named Finn, known for his adventurous spirit and kind heart. Finn loved listening to the tales of the phoenix and dreamed of one day seeing the mythical bird. When he heard about the missing feather, he felt a deep sense of responsibility and volunteered to find it. The villagers were hesitant at first, worried for Finn's safety, but his determination and courage won them over. The village elders gave him a map, said to lead to the Enchanted Isle, where the phoenix resided. They also gave him a small, enchanted compass that would guide him through the treacherous sea. With the compass in hand and the map tucked safely in his satchel, Finn set off towards the Whispering Sea. As he reached the shore, he found an old, weathered boat waiting for him. Taking a deep breath, he pushed the boat into the water and began his journey. The sea was unpredictable and filled with hidden dangers. Finn faced fierce storms, swirling whirlpools, and creatures of the deep. but the enchanted compass always guided him through the perilous waters. After days of arduous travel, he finally saw a glimmering island in the distance, the Enchanted Isle. As Finn approached the island, he was greeted by an array of magical creatures, talking animals, shimmering fairies, and gentle giants. They welcomed him warmly and led him to the heart of the isle, where the legendary phoenix resided. The phoenix was a magnificent bird with feathers of gold and red, radiating warmth and light. It perched on a high, crystal cliff, overlooking the island. As Finn approached, the phoenix looked down at him with wise, curious eyes. "Brave child, why do you seek me?" the phoenix asked, its voice resonating like a beautiful melody. Finn explained the plight of his village and the missing golden feather. The phoenix listened intently, its eyes reflecting both sorrow and hope. "The feather was stolen by the shadow sorcerer," the phoenix said. "He seeks to drain its magic to spread darkness across the land. You must retrieve it from his lair in the Black Mountains, beyond this isle." The task seemed daunting, but Finn's resolve was unwavering. The phoenix, moved by his bravery, offered him one of its own feathers. "This feather will protect you from the sorcerer's dark magic and guide you to his lair. But remember, only a heart pure and true can wield its power." Thanking the phoenix, Finn set off towards the Black Mountains. The journey was perilous, and the path was fraught with traps and dark creatures summoned by the shadow sorcerer. Yet, with the phoenix's feather in hand, Finn pressed on, his heart filled with determination. As he reached the base of the Black Mountains, he encountered a young girl named Lyra, who had been imprisoned by the sorcerer. Lyra possessed knowledge of the mountains and offered to help Finn navigate the treacherous terrain. Grateful for her assistance, Finn agreed, and together they climbed the towering peaks. The closer they got to the sorcerer's lair, the stronger the dark magic became. Shadows danced and whispered, trying to lead them astray, but the phoenix's feather glowed brightly, repelling the darkness. Finally, they reached the sorcerer's lair, a dark, foreboding cave at the mountain's summit. Inside, they found the shadow sorcerer, a tall, menacing figure with eyes like burning coals. He held the golden feather, its light dimmed and flickering. "Foolish children," he hissed. "You think you can take this from me?" Finn stepped forward, his voice steady. "The feather belongs to my village. We will take it back." The sorcerer laughed, summoning dark magic to attack them. But as he did, Finn held up the phoenix's feather, and its radiant light clashed with the sorcerer's darkness. The cave filled with a brilliant light, and the sorcerer's power began to wane. Lyra, drawing strength from the light, joined Finn, and together they confronted the sorcerer. With a final, powerful surge, the phoenix's feather shattered the sorcerer's dark magic, and he was banished from the land. The golden feather floated gently into Finn's hands, its light restored. The sorcerer's lair began to crumble, but Finn and Lyra escaped just in time, returning to the Enchanted Isle. The phoenix greeted them with a joyful song, and the island rejoiced. With the feather safely in his possession, Finn sailed back to Crestwood, Lyra by his side. The village erupted in celebration upon their return. Finn placed the feather back in its rightful place, and its magic spread across the land, restoring the crops and bringing prosperity once more. Finn and Lyra were hailed as heroes, their bravery and friendship celebrated by all. The story of their quest spread far and wide, inspiring others to act with courage and kindness. And so, Crestwood lived happily ever after, forever grateful for the brave boy who brought back the golden feather and saved their village. The end. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where magic whispered through every leaf and pebble, there was a small, enchanted forest known as Sylvan Glade. This forest was no ordinary place. It was a sanctuary of wonder and whimsy where the trees spoke, the flowers sang, and the rivers danced. In this magical forest lived a brave little fox named Felix. Despite his small size, Felix had a heart as large as the tallest oak. He was known throughout the forest for his courage and kindness, often helping the other animals with their troubles. One crisp autumn morning, the forest was stirred by a troubling news. The Moonstone, a gem that balanced the magic of Sylvan Glade, had been stolen. Without the Moonstone, the forest's magic would fade, and the once vibrant realm would wither away. The wise old owl, Orin, called an urgent meeting at the grand oak tree. Felix, with his reddish fur gleaming in the morning sun, was among the first to arrive. Orin, perched on a branch, addressed the concerned animals. The moonstone has been taken by a dark sorcerer who dwells in the shadowed peaks. We need a brave soul to retrieve it. Felix, will you accept this quest? Felix's eyes sparkled with determination. I will go, he said. I'll bring back the moonstone and restore our forest. As Felix ventured out of Sylvan Glade, he faced the daunting shadowed peaks. The path was treacherous, filled with swirling mists and eerie shadows. But Felix, guided by courage and a heart full of hope, pressed on. Along the way, he encountered various obstacles. First, a wicked troll guarded a rickety bridge, demanding a toll of golden leaves. Felix, with quick thinking, used his cleverness to outsmart the troll by offering him a golden leaf from a magical tree that never wilted. The troll, enchanted by the leaf, let Felix pass. Next, Felix came across a wailing willow, whose tears formed a river blocking his path. The willow was crying because a mischievous spirit had stolen its laughter. Felix, using his gentle words in a story of joy, helped the willow regain its laughter, and in return, the willow's waters parted, allowing him to cross. Finally, Felix reached the dark sorcerer's lair. The sorcerer, a towering figure cloaked in shadows, sat on a throne of bones. Felix, although frightened, mustered all his courage and approached the sorcerer. I've come for the moonstone, he declared. The sorcerer, amused by the tiny fox's bravery, decided to test him. If you are truly brave, then you must face my 3 trials, the trial of shadows, the trial of flames, and the trial of mirrors. For the trial of shadows, Felix had to navigate through a labyrinth of darkness. Using his keen senses and the glow of his inner light, he found his way through the maze and emerged victorious. In the trial of flames, Felix had to cross a room ablaze with magical fire. He remembered the enchanted water from the willow and used it to douse the flames, allowing him to pass through unharmed. The final trial, the trial of mirrors, required Felix to confront reflections of his deepest fears. With unwavering resolve and self-belief, he saw through the illusions and remained true to himself, overcoming the trial. Impressed by Felix's bravery and kindness, the sorcerer returned the moonstone. You have proven yourself worthy, he said. Take the moonstone and restore the magic of your forest. Felix hurried back to Sylvan Glade, the moonstone glowing warmly in his paws. As he placed it in its rightful place, the forest's magic was instantly restored. The trees shimmered, the flowers sang louder, and the rivers danced with joy. Felix was celebrated as a hero, not just for his bravery but for his kindness and cleverness. He had shown that even the smallest of creatures could achieve great things with a brave heart and a generous spirit. And so, the enchanted forest thrived once more, thanks to the courage of a brave little fox. Felix's story became a legend, reminding everyone that no matter how small or how great, everyone has the power to make a difference. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. Once upon a time, in a bustling city surrounded by rolling hills and ancient forests, there lived a young girl named Mira. Mira was known for her adventurous spirit and her insatiable curiosity about the world beyond her home. Her father, a skilled navigator, had once told her stories of distant lands and magical places, which filled her dreams with wonder. One day, while exploring her grandmother's attic, Mira stumbled upon an old, ornate compass. Its surface was engraved with intricate designs and its needle glowed faintly. Curious, Mira took it to her grandmother. This compass belonged to your great-grandfather, her grandmother said. Legend has it that it can guide its bearer to their heart's deepest desire, but only if they are truly worthy. Intrigued, Mira decided to test the compass. She held it tightly and thought about her deepest wish, to find a place where magic was real and adventures awaited. The needle spun wildly before pointing decisively toward the dense forest at the edge of town. The next morning, Mira packed a small bag with essentials and set off toward the forest. The trees were tall and ancient, their leaves whispering secrets as she walked. Guided by the compass, Mira ventured deeper into the woods, where the sunlight barely reached the forest floor. After hours of walking, Mira reached a clearing where an enormous, ancient oak tree stood. The tree's trunk was so wide that it took several people to encircle it. The compass's needle was now pointing directly at the tree. As Mira approached, she noticed a small, hidden door at the base of the tree. She hesitated for a moment but then bravely turned the handle and stepped inside. The door led to a spiral staircase that descended into the earth. With each step, Mira could feel her excitement growing. At the bottom of the stairs, Mira entered a grand hall adorned with shimmering crystals and glowing lanterns. In the center of the hall was a pedestal with a golden book resting upon it. The compass pointed straight to the book. Mira approached and opened it. To her amazement, the pages were filled with stories and illustrations of magical realms, mythical creatures, and grand adventures. As she read, the room around her began to transform, and she found herself transported to a vibrant, enchanted world. In this new world, Mira discovered a bustling village inhabited by talking animals, friendly fairies, and wise wizards. She met a charming fairy named Leora, who welcomed her warmly. "We've been expecting you," Leora said with a twinkle in her eye. "The enchanted compass has chosen you to help us. A dark sorcerer has stolen the Heartstone, the source of our magic, and we need your help to retrieve it." Mira agreed to help and set off on a quest with Leora and a brave talking lion named Leo. Their journey took them through enchanted forests, across sparkling rivers, and over treacherous mountains. Along the way, they faced challenges and riddles that tested their bravery and wit. At last, they reached the sorcerer's lair, a foreboding castle surrounded by dark clouds and eerie silence. With clever thinking and teamwork, Mira and her friends navigated the castle's traps and found the sorcerer in his chamber, holding the Heartstone. Mira stepped forward and confronted the sorcerer, her voice steady and determined. "The Heartstone belongs to the people of this world. It is not yours to take." The sorcerer, surprised by Mira's bravery, tried to use his dark magic against her. But Mira, with the support of Leora and Leo, used the wisdom and courage she had gained on her journey to outwit him. They managed to reclaim the Heartstone and restore it to its rightful place in the center of the village. The village rejoiced, and Mira was celebrated as a hero. She was given a beautiful pendant as a token of their gratitude, a symbol of her bravery and kindness. Mira knew it was time to return to her world, but she promised her new friends that she would always remember their magical realm. When she stepped back through the portal and emerged in the forest, Mira found herself holding the compass, which now rested quietly. She returned home, carrying with her not only the pendant but also the memories of her incredible adventure. From that day on, Mira's life was filled with wonder and excitement, and she often shared her stories with others, inspiring them to seek their own adventures and believe in the magic of the world. And they lived happily ever after. The end. Once upon a time, in a charming village called Willowbrook, nestled between rolling hills and the shimmering lake, there lived a young girl named Elara. Willowbrook was known for its vibrant gardens, cheerful festivals, and the legendary tale of the enchanted key. It was said that this key had the power to unlock a hidden realm of magic and wonder, but it had been lost for generations. Elara, an adventurous and kind-hearted girl, had always been fascinated by the tales of the enchanted key. Her grandmother often told her stories of the key's magic and the adventures of those who sought it. One day, while exploring her grandmother's attic, Elara stumbled upon an old, dusty chest. Inside, she found a weathered map with strange symbols and a note that read, "To find the enchanted key, follow the path of stars." Excited by the discovery, Elara decided to follow the map's directions. That night, under a sky full of twinkling stars, she set out on her quest. The map led her to the edge of a mysterious forest known as the Twilight Woods, a place where the trees seemed to whisper secrets and the moonlight danced upon the ground. As Elara ventured into the forest, she encountered a talking owl perched on a low branch. "Greetings, young traveler," the owl hooted. "To proceed, you must pass 3 trials. Only then will you find the enchanted key." Elara, undeterred by the challenge, agreed to the owl's terms. The first trial was to cross a bridge guarded by a mischievous troll. The troll, with a gruff voice and a long, tangled beard, blocked the way. "Answer my riddle," the troll demanded, "or you shall never cross my bridge. What has keys but cannot open locks?" Elara thought carefully and then answered, "A piano." The troll grumbled but allowed Elara to pass. As she continued on her journey, she reached a sparkling river where a gentle mermaid named Lyra awaited her. To move forward, Lyra said, "You must help me retrieve a lost pearl from the riverbed. The pearl holds the light of the moon, and only with it can you find your way." Elara dove into the cool, clear water and found the pearl nestled among the reeds. She returned it to Lyra, who rewarded her with a shimmering seashell that would guide her through the forest. With the seashell in hand, Elara followed its soft glow deeper into the twilight woods. The final trial awaited her at the heart of the forest, where a magnificent, ancient tree stood. The tree spoke in a deep, resonant voice. To complete the final trial, the tree said, "You must show your true heart. Plant this seed, and if your intentions are pure, it will grow into the path you seek." Elara took the seed and carefully planted it in the rich, fertile soil. She watered it with a single drop from her water bottle and watched as it began to sprout. The sprout grew rapidly, forming a radiant path of flowers that led to a hidden glade. At the center of the glade was a pedestal, and upon it rested the enchanted key, glowing with a soft, golden light. Elara approached the key with reverence and gently lifted it. As she did, a magical aura enveloped the glade, and the forest seemed to come alive with a gentle hum. The talking owl, Lyra, and the ancient tree appeared to congratulate Elara. "You have completed the trials with courage, kindness, and a pure heart," the owl said. "The enchanted key is yours to keep, and its magic will bring joy and wonder to all who believe." Elara returned to Willowbrook, her heart full of joy and her hands holding the enchanted key. The villagers marveled at her bravery and the key's magic. Elara used the key to unlock a hidden chamber beneath the village square, revealing a treasure trove of ancient artifacts and magical wonders. The village of Willowbrook flourished under the enchantment of the key, and Elara's adventure became a cherished tale told through generations. The enchanted key's magic continued to inspire and delight the villagers, reminding them that true magic lies in the courage and purity of one's heart. And so, the village thrived, and Elara's story was passed down through the ages, a testament to the magic that exists within us all and the adventures that await those who seek them with a kind heart. Once upon a time, in the faraway kingdom of Luminera, there was a land where the moon shone brighter than anywhere else. The moon's light painted everything in silver, turning the kingdom into a dazzling wonderland each night. At the heart of Luminera stood the moonlit castle, home to the kind and wise Queen Seraphina and her playful daughter, Princess Eloan. Every month, during the night of the moon's eclipse, the moonlight would reveal the moonstone, a magical gem said to grant a single wish to anyone who found it. The moonstone was hidden in the Whispering Woods, a mystical forest known for its enchanting creatures and tricky paths. One evening, as the moon's eclipse approached, Princess Eloan decided to embark on a quest to find the moonstone. She believed that using the wish for the good of Luminera would be the greatest adventure of all. Her loyal friend, a clever and brave fox named Finn, eagerly joined her on this quest. With the moonlight guiding their way, Eloan and Finn set off for the Whispering Woods. The forest was bathed in a soft, silvery glow, and the trees whispered secrets as they ventured deeper. Their first challenge was the Maze of Moonbeams. This maze was a labyrinth of shimmering pathways that changed direction as they moved. To navigate through it, they needed to solve a riddle spoken by the maze's guardian, a wise old owl perched high in the trees. "I am not alive, yet I grow. I don't have eyes, yet I can see. I am not solid, yet I am known. What am I?" Eloan and Finn thought carefully and then Eloan answered, "A shadow." The owl hooted approvingly, and the maze's pathways lit up, showing them the way through. Next, they arrived at the Glimmering River, a sparkling river that flowed with moonlit water and was guarded by a gentle water nymph. To cross the river, they needed to answer a question about the nature of light. What is the only thing that can travel faster than the speed of light, yet can't be seen or touched? Eloan pondered the question and then replied, "A shadow." The water nymph smiled and conjured a glowing bridge of moonlight that allowed them to cross safely. The final challenge was the Cave of Echoes. This cave was filled with echoing whispers and glowing crystals. To reach the Moonstone, they had to follow the echoes of a lullaby sung by the cave's guardian, a serene, mystical spirit. Eloan and Finn listened carefully to the echoes and followed the lullaby's melody through the cave's winding passages. They carefully navigated through the echoes and found themselves in a moonlit chamber. At the center of the chamber, resting upon a pedestal, was the Moonstone. It glowed with a soft, enchanting light, illuminating the entire room. Eloan approached the Moonstone with a heart full of hope and spoke her wish aloud, "I wish for the prosperity and happiness of Luminera, so that every citizen may live in peace and joy." As Eloan's wish was spoken, the Moonstone's light expanded, filling the cave and the forest with a brilliant, warm glow. The magic of the Moonstone spread throughout Luminera, bringing abundant harvests, joy, and harmony to every corner of the kingdom. When Eloan and Finn returned to the moonlit castle, they found Luminera transformed. The kingdom was thriving, with lush fields and happy, content people. The story of their adventure and the magic of the Moonstone became a beloved tale in Luminera, reminding everyone of the power of selfless wishes and the magic that shines from the heart. And so, the Whispering Woods and the moonlit castle remained symbols of wonder and enchantment, where dreams and wishes flourished under the light of the moon. The end. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, there was a charming little shop known as the Enchanted Teacup. This shop was famous far and wide for its exquisite collection of teacups and teapots, each more beautiful than the last. The shop's owner, a kind old woman named Miss Eloan, was known for her magical touch with tea leaves and her ability to make every visitor feel special. One sunny afternoon, a curious young girl named Ella entered the shop. Ella was known for her boundless curiosity and a heart full of dreams. She had heard tales of Miss Eloan's magical teacups and hoped to find something extraordinary. As Ella wandered through the shop, she marveled at the teacups that sparkled with every color of the rainbow and the teapots that seemed to hum softly with their own melodies. Each piece had its own unique charm, but one teacup in particular caught her eye. It was an elegant, deep blue cup adorned with intricate gold patterns that seemed to dance in the light. Miss Eloan noticed Ella's fascination and smiled warmly. "Ah, you found the enchanted teacup," she said. "This teacup is special. It's said to grant one wish to whoever drinks from it with a pure heart." Ella's eyes widened. "One wish? Really?" Miss Eloan nodded. "Yes, but remember, it must be a wish from the heart, and you must drink tea brewed with genuine kindness." Ella thought long and hard about her wish. She wished for something that would not only bring happiness to herself but also to those around her. Finally, she made her decision. She purchased the teacup and promised to return with a story of how it had granted her wish. Back at home, Ella brewed a pot of tea, carefully following the instructions Miss Eloan had given her. She added a sprinkle of kindness and a dash of love to the pot. As she poured the tea into the enchanted teacup, she closed her eyes and made her wish. "I wish for a way to bring happiness to my village," she whispered. The tea in the enchanted teacup shimmered with a soft, golden light, and a sweet, calming aroma filled the room. Ella drank the tea with a sense of anticipation, hoping her wish would come true. The next morning, Ella awoke to find something magical had happened. As she stepped outside, she noticed that the entire village was alive with vibrant colors and joyful sounds. The flowers in the gardens had bloomed into dazzling arrays of colors, and the air was filled with the sweet music of birds singing harmonies. Ella discovered that the villagers had been inspired by the magic of the enchanted teacup. Each person had been touched by a sense of joy and creativity, and they had worked together to beautify the village and spread happiness. The children painted murals on the walls, the artisans crafted delightful decorations, and the bakers made delicious treats for everyone to enjoy. Ella felt a warm glow of happiness as she walked through the village. She realized that the true magic of the enchanted teacup was not just in granting a wish, but in inspiring people to come together and create something wonderful. As the days went by, the village continued to thrive with its newfound joy. Miss Aloan visited the village to see the transformation and was delighted by what she saw. She thanked Ella for showing the true power of the enchanted teacup. Ella's wish had not only brought happiness to her village but had also taught her an important lesson, that the magic of kindness and unity was the most powerful magic of all. The enchanted teacup was returned to Miss Aloan's shop, ready to grant another wish when the time was right. And so, the village remained a place of beauty and joy, where every heart was touched by the magic of a single wish made with love and kindness. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between snow-capped mountains and emerald forests, there was a quaint little village named Brookshire. The villagers were known for their craftsmanship and creativity, but their most prized possession was an ancient and mysterious artifact, the enchanted quill. This quill was said to have the power to bring any written word to life, and it was kept in a secure chest in the village library. The keeper of the quill was a wise old librarian named Cedric, who had cared for it for as long as anyone could remember. Legend had it that the quill was a gift from the fairies, bestowed upon the village to inspire imagination and magic. However, it was also said that the quill's power could only be used once every 100 years, and it required a heart of true intention and bravery. One day, a young girl named Alara, with a spirit full of curiosity and a heart full of dreams, overheard a conversation about the enchanted quill. The villagers spoke of an impending drought that threatened their crops and livelihood. Alara, who loved her village dearly, felt a deep urge to help. She remembered stories her grandmother told her about how the enchanted quill could turn words into reality. Determined to use the quill's magic to save her village, Alara went to the library and approached Cedric. "Cedric," she said, "I wish to use the enchanted quill to bring rain to our fields. The drought is affecting everyone, and I believe the quill's magic can save us." Cedric looked at her with a thoughtful expression. "The quill's magic is powerful and can only be used once every 100 years. It is not to be taken lightly. If you truly wish to use it, you must first prove your worth by completing a series of tasks that test your courage, wisdom, and heart." Alara agreed, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Cedric handed her a map and a small golden key, explaining that the first task was to find the hidden Cave of Echoes, where she would face her first challenge. Following the map, Alara ventured into the dense forest. After hours of trekking, she arrived at a cavern with walls that shimmered with ancient symbols. Inside the cave, her task was to decipher a riddle etched into the stone: "I can fly without wings. I can cry without eyes. Wherever I go, darkness follows me. What am I?" Alara pondered the riddle and realized the answer was a cloud. With that revelation, the cavern's entrance opened, revealing a passage to the next challenge. Alara emerged into a tranquil meadow, where a beautiful, wise-looking deer stood waiting. The deer spoke: "To continue, you must show your bravery. Cross the bridge of shadows, but remember, it is not the shadows that are dangerous, but the fears within you." The bridge was a narrow, swaying structure surrounded by a mist that seemed to create dark, shifting shapes. As Alara stepped onto the bridge, the shadows took the form of her deepest fears, failing her village, letting everyone down. She took a deep breath, focused on her purpose, and walked steadily across the bridge. Her bravery saw her through, and she reached the other side unscathed. The final task was to find the enchanted glade, where a silver tree with golden leaves stood. The tree was guarded by a gentle, yet stern, fairy named Lyra. Lyra's task was to ensure that Alara's intentions were truly pure. She asked Alara to describe her deepest wish for her village and why she wanted to use the quill. Alara spoke from her heart, explaining her love for her village and her desire to help everyone prosper and live happily. Lyra listened intently, and seeing the sincerity in Alara's words, she was convinced of her noble intentions. "You have proven yourself worthy," Lyra said. "The enchanted quill is yours to use." Alara thanked Lyra and returned to the library with the quill. Cedric unlocked the chest, and Alara carefully held the quill, its feathers shimmering with magic. She wrote a simple but heartfelt wish: "May rain fall upon our fields and bring life and prosperity to our land." As soon as she finished writing, a gentle rain began to fall over Brookshire. The fields, parched and dry, were soon transformed into lush, green expanses. The villagers rejoiced and celebrated Alara's bravery and selflessness. The enchanted quill's magic had brought the much-needed rain and saved the village from the drought. From that day forward, Alara's tale of courage and compassion was cherished, and the village thrived under the magic of the enchanted quill. And so, the kingdom of Brookshire continued to flourish, and the legend of the enchanted quill lived on as a testament to the power of a pure heart and the magic that true intention can create. In the heart of a lush, sunlit forest, there was a peaceful village named Fernwood. The village was famous for its enchanting surroundings, with clear, babbling brooks, colorful wildflowers, and towering trees. But among all the wonders of the forest, the most cherished was an ancient willow tree known as the Whispering Willow. The Whispering Willow was said to be magical, its long, drooping branches whispering secrets to those who would listen. The villagers believed the tree had the power to grant wisdom and guidance, but only to those with a pure heart. In this village lived a young boy named Tomlin. Tomlin was known for his kind nature and curious spirit. He had always been fascinated by the stories of the Whispering Willow and often visited it to listen to its soft murmurs, hoping to understand its secrets. One crisp autumn morning, as Tomlin was exploring the forest, he found a peculiar, glimmering feather nestled among the fallen leaves. The feather was iridescent and seemed to sparkle with its own light. Intrigued, Tomlin picked it up and examined it closely. As he held the feather, a soft, melodic voice spoke to him from the air. "Tomlin, the feather you hold is a sign that your heart is ready for a great adventure. Seek the Whispering Willow and discover the true magic within." Excited by the mysterious message, Tomlin hurried to the Whispering Willow. The tree stood majestic and serene, its branches swaying gently in the breeze. Tomlin placed the feather at the base of the tree and waited, hoping for some sign. The Whispering Willow's branches rustled, and a gentle, shimmering light began to emanate from the tree. A faint, ethereal figure appeared before Tomlin. It was a graceful fairy with wings that sparkled like moonlight. "Greetings, Tomlin," the fairy said with a smile. "I am Leora, the guardian of the Whispering Willow. The feather you found is a key to unlocking the tree's magic. To reveal its true power, you must embark on a quest to retrieve 3 enchanted items hidden in the forest." Tomlin listened intently as Leora continued, "These items are the Crystal of Clarity, the Pendant of Light, and the Book of Wisdom. Each holds a piece of the Whispering Willow's magic. Your journey will test your courage and kindness, but it will also reveal the strength of your heart." With determination, Tomlin set off on his quest. The first item, the Crystal of Clarity, was said to be hidden in the Cave of Echoes. Guided by the whispers of the forest, Tomlin found the cave and ventured inside. The cave walls glittered with crystals that reflected the light in dazzling patterns. At the heart of the cave, Tomlin discovered a large, radiant crystal resting on a stone pedestal. As he approached, a voice echoed through the cave, challenging him with a riddle. "I am not alive, yet I grow. I do not have lungs, yet I need air. I do not have a mouth, yet water kills me. What am I?" Tomlin thought carefully and answered, "Fire." The crystal's light grew brighter, and the pedestal revealed the Crystal of Clarity. Tomlin took the crystal and continued his quest, feeling a sense of accomplishment. The next destination was the Glade of Dreams, where the Pendant of Light was hidden. The glade was a magical place filled with softly glowing flowers and twinkling fireflies. At the center of the glade was a large, ancient oak tree with a hollow trunk. Inside the hollow trunk, Tomlin found the Pendant of Light, glowing warmly. As he reached for it, a gentle voice spoke from the tree. "To earn the pendant, you must offer a gift of kindness to the creatures of the glade." Tomlin saw a small bird with a broken wing resting on the ground. He carefully tended to the bird, wrapping its wing in a soft leaf and giving it water. The creatures of the glade, seeing Tomlin's kindness, rewarded him with the Pendant of Light. With 2 items secured, Tomlin set off for the final part of his quest, the Library of the Ancients, where the Book of Wisdom was hidden. The library was an ancient, mystical place filled with towering shelves of books and scrolls. At the center of the library, Tomlin found the Book of Wisdom resting on a pedestal. As he approached, a riddle appeared in glowing letters on the cover: "What has keys but can't open locks, space but no room, and you can enter but not go in?" Tomlin thought hard and replied, "A keyboard." The book's cover opened, revealing the Book of Wisdom inside. Tomlin took the book, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. With all three enchanted items in hand, Tomlin returned to the Whispering Willow. The fairy Leora greeted him with a smile. "You have completed your quest with courage and kindness. The Whispering Willow's magic is now fully awakened." Tomlin placed the Crystal of Clarity, the Pendant of Light, and the Book of Wisdom at the base of the tree. The items glowed brightly, and a powerful wave of magic surged through the forest. The Whispering Willow's branches shimmered with a golden light, and the entire forest seemed to come alive with a new, vibrant energy. Leora spoke, "You have shown that true magic lies in a pure heart and the strength to act with kindness and courage. The Whispering Willow's magic will now guide and protect the village of Fernwood for generations to come." The villagers rejoiced at the return of the tree's magic, and Tomlin was celebrated as a hero. The Whispering Willow continued to whisper its secrets, and Tomlin's story became a cherished tale, reminding everyone of the power of bravery, kindness, and the magic that exists within us all. Once upon a time, in a land where the night sky was filled with more stars than grains of sand on a beach, there was a small village called Glimmerwood. The village was named after the magical forest that surrounded it, where the trees sparkled like silver in the moonlight, and the streams shimmered with the glow of the stars reflected on their surfaces. In this village lived a young girl named Mira, who was known for her curious nature and her love of the stars. Every night, Mira would sit by her window and gaze up at the sky, watching the stars twinkle and dance. She would often dream of catching a star and keeping it close to her heart, imagining the warmth and light it would bring. One evening, as Mira was sitting by her window, she noticed something strange. One of the stars in the sky was shining brighter than all the others, and it seemed to be getting closer. As she watched in awe, the star descended from the heavens, landing gently in the Glimmerwood forest. Its light was so bright that it lit up the entire forest, turning night into day. Mira knew she had to find the fallen star. She quickly put on her cloak, grabbed a small lantern, and ventured into the forest. The trees glowed softly as she made her way through, guiding her steps toward the star's resting place. After walking for what felt like hours, Mira finally reached a clearing. In the center of the clearing, surrounded by the soft glow of the trees, was the star. It was smaller than she had imagined, about the size of her hand, but it shone with a light so pure and warm that it filled her heart with joy. As Mira approached the star, she heard a soft, melodic voice. "Who is it that seeks the light of the stars?" Startled, Mira looked around and saw a figure emerge from the shadows of the trees. It was an old woman, her hair silver as the moon, and her eyes twinkling like the stars themselves. She was the Starcatcher, a wise and ancient being who watched over the stars and protected them from harm. "I'm Mira," the girl said, bowing her head respectfully. "I saw the star fall from the sky, and I came to find it. I've always dreamed of holding a star in my hands." The Starcatcher smiled kindly. "You have a brave heart, Mira, and a pure spirit. Not many would venture into the forest at night to seek out a fallen star. But stars are not meant to be kept, they belong in the sky, where they can light the way for all." Mira's heart sank a little. She had hoped to keep the star, to hold its light close and cherish it forever. But she understood the Starcatcher's words. "I see," she said softly. "But why did the star fall from the sky in the first place?" The Starcatcher's expression grew serious. "This star, like all stars, has a purpose. It is a guide for those who are lost, a beacon of hope in the darkest of nights. But sometimes, stars lose their way too, and they need help to find their place in the sky again. This star fell because it was searching for something, a place where it could shine the brightest." Mira looked at the star, feeling a connection to it. "Then I will help it find its way back. I'll do whatever it takes to make sure it shines again." The Starcatcher nodded approvingly. You have a good heart, Mira. To return the star to the sky, you must take it to the highest peak of the Moonlight Mountain. There, you will find a crystal pool that reflects the night sky. If you place the star in the pool, it will be able to find its way home. Mira agreed without hesitation. She gently picked up the star, feeling its warmth spread through her hands, and set off on her journey to Moonlight Mountain. The path was long and steep, but Mira was determined. She climbed higher and higher, the star lighting her way through the darkness. As she climbed, the star began to glow brighter, as if it knew it was getting closer to its destination. But the journey was not without its challenges. The wind grew colder, and the path became narrower, with sharp rocks and steep cliffs on either side. But Mira held the star close, its light giving her the strength to keep going. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Mira reached the peak of Moonlight Mountain. There, as the starcatcher had said, was a crystal-clear pool, reflecting the stars above. The sight was breathtaking, and for a moment, Mira simply stood in awe of the beauty around her. Gently, she knelt by the pool and held the star over the water. "It's time for you to go home," she whispered, feeling a bittersweet twinge in her heart. She slowly lowered the star into the pool, watching as its light merged with the reflection of the stars in the sky. As soon as the star touched the water, the entire pool began to glow, and the star rose from the surface, ascending back into the sky. Mira watched as it soared higher and higher, until it found its place among the other stars, shining even more brightly than before. The starcatcher appeared beside Mira, her eyes filled with pride. "You have done a great thing, Mira. The star has found its place, and it will guide those who are lost, just as you have guided it. Remember, true light shines brightest when it is shared." Mira smiled, her heart filled with warmth and happiness. She had dreamed of holding a star, and though she had to let it go, she knew she had helped it fulfill its purpose. As she made her way back down the mountain, the stars in the sky seemed to shine a little brighter, as if thanking her for her kindness. When she returned to Glimmerwood, the villagers noticed the change in the night sky. The stars seemed more vibrant, more alive, and they wondered what had caused such a change. But Mira kept her adventure a secret, knowing that the star was exactly where it needed to be. From that night on, whenever Mira looked up at the sky, she would find the star she had helped and smile, knowing that she had played a part in its journey. And in her heart, she carried the light of that star, a reminder that sometimes, the greatest treasures are the ones we help others find. The end. Once upon a time, in the heart of a lush and ancient forest, there lay a hidden village known as Emberwood. This village was special for its enchanted lanterns that glowed with a warm, golden light every night. The lanterns were said to be gifts from the forest spirits, meant to guide and protect the villagers through the darkness. In Emberwood lived a brave and kind-hearted girl named Freya. Freya had a special connection with the forest and often ventured deep into its mystical depths. One day, as she was foraging for herbs near an old oak tree, she discovered a strange, intricately carved wooden box hidden beneath the roots. The box had a faded inscription, "To find what is lost, seek the heart of the forest." Freya was intrigued. She took the box home and showed it to her grandmother, Elara, who was the village's wise elder. Elara's eyes widened in recognition. "This box belonged to the forest spirit queen," she explained. "It said that it holds the key to restoring the forest spirit's lost heart." Freya was determined to uncover the mystery. That night, as the lanterns glowed softly in Emberwood, she set out on a quest to find the heart of the forest. Armed with a map her grandmother had given her and guided by the gentle light of the lanterns, Freya ventured into the heart of the enchanted forest. The forest was alive with soft whispers and gentle rustlings. Freya followed the map, which led her to a majestic waterfall cascading into a crystal-clear pool. In the moonlight, the water shimmered with an ethereal glow. As Freya approached the pool, a graceful, shimmering figure emerged from the water. It was the water nymph. The nymph spoke softly, "To find the forest spirit's heart, you must first prove your courage. Retrieve the moonstone from the cave behind the waterfall. It is guarded by the Echo Serpent, a creature of the deepest shadows. Freya accepted the challenge and carefully made her way behind the waterfall into a dark, echoing cave. The Moonstone, a radiant gem pulsing with a soft blue light, was perched on a pedestal at the cave center. As she reached for it, the Echo Serpent slithered out of the shadows, its eyes glowing with a faint, eerie light. The serpent hissed, "Only those who face their fears may take the Moonstone." Freya took a deep breath and faced the serpent. "I am not afraid," she declared, "for I seek to restore what is lost and protect the forest." The Echo Serpent, sensing the sincerity in her heart, allowed her to take the Moonstone. With the gem in hand, Freya returned to the water nymph, who guided her further into the forest. The map led Freya to an ancient, enchanted grove where the trees seemed to whisper ancient secrets. At the center of the grove was a grand, hollow tree with a gnarled trunk and glowing runes. Freya approached the tree, and the Moonstone's light revealed a hidden door. Inside the hollow tree, Freya found a mystical heart-shaped crystal pulsating with a faint, golden light. The crystal was surrounded by withered leaves and dark vines. As Freya touched the crystal, a voice echoed through the grove. "You have proven your bravery and pure heart," the voice said. "Restore the heart of the forest and bring light to the land." Freya placed the Moonstone next to the crystal, and a wave of golden light surged through the grove. The vines withered, the leaves revived, and the grove was bathed in a warm, golden glow. The heart-shaped crystal began to pulse with vibrant energy, and the forest was filled with renewed magic. The forest spirit queen appeared, a radiant figure of light and grace. "You have restored the heart of the forest," she said. "Your courage and kindness have saved our realm." Freya returned to Emberwood, where the lanterns glowed brighter than ever. The village celebrated her bravery with a grand feast, and the story of her quest became a cherished tale. From that day on, the forest thrived under the protection of the restored heart, and the lanterns of Emberwood shone with a magical light that guided and protected the villagers. And so, Freya's bravery and the magic of the enchanted forest lived on, and the village of Emberwood flourished happily ever after. And they all lived happily ever after. The tale of the enchanted garden. Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by lush hills and clear streams, there lived a young boy named Oliver. He was a curious and kind-hearted child, known for his love of plants and nature. Oliver's home was small, but his garden was large and filled with every kind of flower, bird, and tree you can imagine. He spent his days tending to his plants, talking to them as if they were his friends. Oliver's favorite part of his garden was an ancient, twisted oak tree that stood at the center. The tree was said to be magical, and the villagers believed that it had been planted by a powerful sorceress long ago. The tree's branches stretched wide, and its leaves shimmered with a faint golden light whenever the sun set. No one knew what kind of magic the tree held, but everyone agreed it was special. One summer evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Oliver noticed something strange. The leaves of the old oak tree were glowing brighter than usual, and the air around it seemed to hum with energy. Curious, Oliver approached the tree and placed his hand on its trunk. As soon as his hand touched the bark, the ground beneath him began to tremble. The roots of the tree shifted, and the earth parted to reveal a hidden stone staircase leading deep underground. Oliver hesitated for only a moment before his curiosity got the better of him. He took a deep breath and began to descend the staircase. The stairs spiraled down for what felt like an eternity, but eventually, Oliver reached the bottom. He found himself in a vast underground chamber illuminated by soft, glowing crystals embedded in the walls. In the center of the chamber was a garden unlike any Oliver had ever seen. The plants were tall and vibrant, their colors more brilliant than anything on the surface. The air was thick with the scent of flowers, and the sound of trickling water echoed through the chamber. As Oliver stepped into the garden, he felt a warm breeze brush against his face. The plants seemed to sway in rhythm with the breeze, and he heard a soft, melodious voice whispering through the air. "Welcome, young gardener," the voice said. "You have found the enchanted garden, a place of ancient magic. Here, the plants hold secrets and powers beyond imagination. You are the first to discover this place in many centuries." Oliver looked around, trying to find the source of the voice, but saw no one. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice trembling with excitement. "I am the spirit of the garden," the voice replied. "I have watched over this place for centuries, waiting for someone worthy to find it. You have cared for the plants above with such love and devotion that I have decided to reveal this hidden sanctuary to you." Oliver's heart swelled with pride. "What can I do here?" he asked. The spirit chuckled softly. "In this garden, the plants are alive in ways you cannot imagine. Each one holds a different kind of magic. Some can heal any wound, others can grant wisdom or courage, and a few can even make your wildest dreams come true. But be warned, young Oliver, magic is powerful, and it must be used wisely." Oliver nodded eagerly. "I promise to be careful. Can I take some of these plants back to the surface to help the villagers?" The spirit's voice grew serious. "You may take only one plant with you, Oliver. Choose wisely, for it will change the fate of your village." Oliver looked around the garden, marveling at the beauty and variety of the plants. There were flowers with petals that glowed like the moon, trees with leaves made of pure gold, and vines that hummed with energy. But as he explored, his eyes were drawn to a small, unassuming plant with delicate blue flowers. It wasn't as flashy as the others, but something about it called to him. He knelt beside the plant and touched its leaves. "What is this one?" he asked. "That is the flower of hope," the spirit replied. "Its magic is simple but powerful. It can lift the spirits of anyone who sees it, filling their heart with hope and courage. In times of darkness, it shines the brightest." Oliver smiled. He knew this was the plant he wanted to take back to his village. "I choose the flower of hope," he said. The spirit's voice was warm with approval. "A wise choice, young one. Take it with you, and remember that hope is the most powerful magic of all." The plant's roots gently loosened from the earth, and Oliver carefully lifted it from the ground. As soon as he did, the garden began to fade, and the stone staircase reappeared. The spirit's voice whispered one last time, "Go now, and share the hope you have found." Oliver ascended the staircase, carrying the flower of hope in his arms. When he reached the surface, he found the night sky filled with stars, and the old oak tree standing as it always had. He planted the flower of hope in the center of his garden, where everyone in the village could see it. The next morning, the villagers noticed the new addition to Oliver's garden. As they gazed at the delicate blue flowers, they felt a strange warmth in their hearts. Worries that had weighed heavily on their minds began to fade, replaced by a sense of peace and optimism. The village, once quiet and reserved, soon became a place of laughter and joy. People worked together, helping one another and facing challenges with newfound courage. Word of the magical flower spread, and soon people from neighboring villages came to see it. Oliver's garden became a place of pilgrimage, where those in need of hope could come and find solace. The village flourished, and the once lonely gardener became a beloved figure, known far and wide for his kindness and the miracle he had brought to the land. Years passed, and though the flower of hope never withered, Oliver grew old. As he lay in his bed one evening, surrounded by the love of his fellow villagers, he felt a familiar warmth in his heart. The spirit of the garden whispered to him once more, "You have done well, Oliver. Your life has been a beacon of hope for all who knew you. Rest now, knowing that your garden will continue to bring light to the world." With a contented smile, Oliver closed his eyes for the last time, knowing that his legacy would live on in the hearts of all who had been touched by the flower of hope. And so, the village continued to thrive, and the story of Oliver and his enchanted garden was passed down through the generations. The flower of hope remained a symbol of the power of kindness and the magic that lies within every heart. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Astrania, there was a young shepherd named Lucian. He lived in a small cottage at the edge of the enchanted forest with his grandmother, a wise old woman who knew many ancient tales and secrets of the land. Every night, Lucian would look up at the sky, mesmerized by the stars, and dream of adventure. One evening, as Lucian tended to his sheep, he noticed a bright, silver star falling from the sky. It landed deep within the enchanted forest, creating a radiant glow. Intrigued and filled with curiosity, Lucien decided to follow the light. He knew the forest was filled with magic and danger, but his adventurous spirit could not resist the call. As Lucien ventured into the forest, he met a talking owl named Orin, who perched on a low branch. "Where are you going, young shepherd?" Orin hooted. "I saw a silver star fall into the forest, and I want to find it," Lucien replied. Orin's eyes sparkled with wisdom. "The silver star you seek is no ordinary star. It is the heart of the silver star tree, a magical tree that grants wishes to those pure of heart. But beware, the journey is perilous, and many have tried and failed." Determined, Lucien pressed on. Orin decided to accompany him, offering guidance and protection. They ventured deeper into the forest, where the trees whispered secrets, and shadows danced in the moonlight. After a while, they reached the crystal stream, a river that sparkled like diamonds. However, the stream was guarded by a fearsome troll named Grug. "Who dares to cross my stream?" Grug growled, his voice echoing through the forest. "I am Lucien, and I seek the silver star," Lucien said boldly. Grug eyed him suspiciously. "To cross, you must solve my riddle. I am not alive, but I can grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. What am I?" Lucien thought for a moment, then smiled. "You are fire." Grug grunted, impressed. "You may pass, but beware of the dangers ahead." Lucien and Orin crossed the crystal stream and continued their journey. As they ventured further, they encountered a clearing filled with beautiful, but deadly, nightshade flowers. Their scent was intoxicating, and many travelers had fallen into an eternal sleep by merely inhaling it. Orin flew ahead, scouting a safe path. "Hold your breath and follow me," he instructed. Lucien did as he was told, carefully navigating through the flowers without breathing in their poisonous scent. Finally, they reached the heart of the enchanted forest, where the silver star tree stood. Its leaves glimmered like silver, and at the base of the tree lay the fallen star, glowing with a magical light. However, a dark figure emerged from the shadows. It was Malgath, an evil sorcerer who had long sought the power of the silver star. "You will not take what is rightfully mine," Malgath hissed, raising his staff to cast a spell. Lucien stood his ground, feeling a surge of courage. He held up his shepherd's staff, and Orin swooped down, pecking at Malgath's hands, causing the sorcerer to lose focus. In that moment, the silver star tree reacted to Lucien's pure heart and bravery. Its roots came alive, entwining Malgath and pulling him into the earth, banishing him from Astrania forever. With Malgath gone, Lucien approached the fallen star. As he touched it, a warm light enveloped him, and a gentle voice spoke. "Your heart is pure, and your intentions noble. Make a wish, young shepherd." Lucien closed his eyes and wished for prosperity and happiness for his grandmother and the people of Astrania. The silver star tree glowed brighter, and the light spread across the forest, lifting the enchantment and bringing joy and abundance to the kingdom. Lucien returned home to find his grandmother healthy and their cottage filled with warmth and light. News of his bravery spread, and the people of Astrania celebrated the young shepherd who had saved them all. From that day on, Lucien continued to tend his sheep, but he was no longer just a shepherd. He was a hero, known for his courage and pure heart. The silver star tree remained in the forest, a symbol of hope and magic, and every night, Lucien would look up at the sky, knowing that the stars were watching over him. And so, the kingdom of Astrania thrived, forever grateful to the young shepherd who followed a silver star and brought light back into their lives. The end.